Welcome back, everybody, to Late Night at the Movies on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. I'm your host, Nico, and with me today, we got Max, JT, and Miranda over there.
Julie Miranda.
Julie Mac Miranda.
Mac Miranda.
Giving us sassy looks.
Do you know how long I've been looking for these fucking sunglasses, dude? I'm so glad I just found them. These sunglasses have been missing since Christmas. I have had no idea what this. Yeah, I haven't had sunglasses for 3 months.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you found them just in time for this episode, because today we're going to be talking about The Devil Wears Prada, everybody. This is Julie's pick, and this is episode 78 of Late Night at the Movies. And why don't you take it away, Julie, aka Miranda over there? Let us know why you picked this one just in time for the sequel. By the way, everybody,
might have been planned. Might have been. I have to put them up here so I can read my notes. So if I think about that, so this would have been in the era that I recall back to all the time on this show, when the early Android box days, when all the channels were movies nonstop. That's the channel that the movie plays on repeat all fucking day. This is one of those for me in that time. So I had seen the movie at least a dozen times the year that it came out, or maybe the year after it came out, whether partially or in full. And I've probably seen it another dozen times over the last 20 years since it's come out. Big time comfort movie for me. Kind of endlessly rewatchable, I feel. Gotta come back to it every now and again just for the good vibes. I think that, I mean, we know, I think collectively we know it's based on a book, right? Everybody knew that?
Yeah, no, I found that out after.
Yeah. So it's written by a former Vogue employee, and they've never confirmed or denied, but it's obviously Miranda is based on Anna Wintour. They've never said it explicitly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're afraid.
I knew that this was basically Vogue, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was based on an actual person. Or
well, Anna Wintour is the editor of Vogue.
Okay, yeah, that's news to me. Yeah, I don't really know this world like that, right?
Apparently, she's.
I don't super know it either, but I know that Anna Wintour is a huge fashion icon for reasons, but if you'd asked me before what magazine she was affiliated with, I probably wouldn't have been able to confidently say Vogue. But anyway, the book written by a former Vogue employee who doesn't say, but sort of goes without saying, that Miranda obviously based on Anna Wintour, and Emily is loosely based on her former assistant. For some reason, they did not, well, I guess I get it. They didn't invite Anna Wintour to the premiere, but she did go to it of her own volition. Not the premiere. She went to an advanced screening with her daughter, and they found it to be an accurate representation. They were sort of talking amongst themselves during the movie, and they were like, oh my God, they got that right. And apparently she likes the movie, so that's nice. They had one person on production that had access to the Vogue offices during filming. So the production designer, who is that person, recreated Anna Wintour's office perfectly for the movie. And then when Anna saw the movie, she redecorated her office after the movie came out. And they spent $1 million on costuming, even though they had a lot of items that were loaned for filming. It was still the most expensive costuming in film history at that time. I think it's been outdone by Crazy Rich Asians since.
Okay.
But at that time, and it's still second place as far as I could find out, that they are in the top 5, top 3.
I guess it's all designer brand stuff.
Yeah.
Another movie I love.
And a lot of people were hesitant to loan them stuff from those big brands like Prada, Chanel, all those huge brands were really hesitant to loan them stuff and affiliate themselves with the movie because they were worried about pissing off Anna Wintour. Because they were like, this doesn't necessarily portray her in the best light.
That's fantastic.
It also won an award for costume design. Just fun fact there. Anne Hathaway. I found this to be very interesting. I found this out later. prepared for the part by volunteering as an assistant at an auction house. And I'm like, let me tell you, the most apt comparison that I could have had in my job having time as an adult. Working at an auction house, you have a lot of people that are this type of vibe. So like this feels very authentic to me. Yeah. That's the closest I'll ever be to that industry with that type of person anyway. And the original draft of the screenplay, before the director was confirmed and like signed onto it, the original screenplay was more like a parody type movie, more akin to like Zoolander. And then when they got the director on, he did a sort of a full rewrite to make this a kind of like personal sacrifice, career success story type vibe, as opposed to like fashion industry parody movie. And yeah, most people in the industry that they were like trying, when they were researching roles and stuff, everyone that they were reaching out to and trying to get sort of feedback on about the script, they were all very hard to communicate with because they did not want to affiliate with the movie because of Anna Wintour. They didn't want to get blackballed by the fashion industry because she's such a powerful figure. So that was hard. It was also the same thing with location scouting. They couldn't get the Met to sign off on anything. There was something they had problems with the Paris Fashion Week stuff because they didn't want to cast Anna Wintour in a bad light. They were all like afraid. So she without even being involved, just being as an inspirational figure for the film, without them even confirming that, they had all of this chaos around like trying to make the movie just because of Anna Wintour being a figure that this so closely resembled. Like they had a hard time kind of making with production anyway. It's also like a kind of an interesting thing I found out later on was the role of Miranda. Somebody did like an essay on it about it's like a modern retelling of the Psyche myth, which is like a Greek mythology thing, that Miranda is meant to be Aphrodite, and the character like of Psyche is maturing under, it's like the heroine's journey, but like she's maturing under the guidance of like older female who seems to be just like torturing her and tormenting her, and the authority figure female like sort of appears as an enemy and then is mentoring Psyche. So Andy is supposed to be Psyche, and it's like the conflict of like mentor-mentee and like sort of motherly figure. It was like a commentary on that, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, it's got it takes a lot of inspiration from real life people, which is caused them a lot of problems, but I found that to be kind of compelling, that it also has this sort of seed of Greek mythology potentially to it as well.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that.
I didn't get high enough to
kind of speaks to like the nature of a lot of our stories, how like you wouldn't even know they're inspired by these older myths, even something like this, you know, like that's really fascinating. It's
the whole thing about nothing in the barest bone sense, nothing is really original anymore. Yeah. Everything's inspired by something, but it's all paying homage to something else, which I think is a nicer way of saying it. But
that's really interesting. I never would have thought of that.
It's and I think Max and I sort of had the same feeling about it. It's like hard to like place a genre label on it because it feels like a romantic comedy, but it's actually a dramedy. That's what actually is attributed to, as I found out. But yeah, it's very reminiscent of that era of those. There was like a whole huge run of this type of movies coming around that time. So it takes me back. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
%.
Nice.
Yeah. What did you guys? How did you feel about the movie, everybody? Whoever wants to go first.
I guess I'll go next, just because, just like you, Julie, I have a history that dates back to, I guess, around the same time. I can't remember actually if I saw this movie the year it came out or the year after, but it had to have been like around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a movie my mom and my sisters rented out from Blockbuster. And like growing up with two older sisters,
Blockbuster also.
It was sort of like my my entrance into like watching a lot of like quote unquote girly stuff,
chick flicks
or whatever, chick shows or whatever, just because that's what's always on TV when they're in the room or whatever. So
yeah,
it's like, yeah. And this might have been like the first, or maybe the first real one that I really took seriously or really was like exposed to like from front to end. Because I remember when they rented it from Blockbuster, I actually sat down and watched the whole thing with them, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really good movie. And it was so good that I remember like 1 year after that, my mom rented it again from Blockbuster. So it's just like, that's kind of how it shows like how often would you rent the same thing? Like it had to have been a good movie if that's what you're doing, right?
It has legacy.
Yeah, it's legacy. And like 20 something years later, it's like the proof is in the pudding. This is the
20th anniversary right
this
now.
Is yeah, it is. It is a beloved movie, man. Like people love this movie, and it's just like it's had this huge impact on a lot of people. And I don't know, I love it, man. It's a comfort watch. This is like the type of movie that I would watch on an airplane. Like they, you know what I mean? like no, for real. Like it's just comforting. Like just like Crazy Rich Asians, which you just name dropped a few minutes ago. Like that's another one of those things. I don't know what it is about those type of things. I don't know. Maybe it's just showing like the luxury life, and it's showing like clothing and stuff. And it just
very aristocratic society that we're not like that. We don't get us like a. Yeah.
And it's kind of like Andy, who Anne Hathaway plays, is like the outsider. So she's kind of like the avatar of the audience, kind of like discovering the world as you are at the same time. It's kind of like, it's just really good stuff. And great performances, great writing. And yeah, you're right. It isn't really a romantic comedy. It's more about like a career woman, like a woman's more. It's more about like falling in love or falling in hate love with your job or whatever, and sort of like just seeing the progression of the character as she's maturing and how she's becoming kind of a stronger like individual or whatever. It's a classic. I love this one. I could watch this movie over and over and over again. Like that's how much I love it. And it is also like very indicative of like a specific time of the year. Like it's like it feels like perfect for like spring and summer, and like it just has that like kind of that, or maybe even like early fall. It just has that kind of energy to it that is just I love. So, and New York City, which is like you can never go wrong setting a movie in New York. So
I think that we all kind of know a person that sort of like really invests themselves in their career and it becomes their entire personality, you know? Like everybody knows somebody like that. So it feels like relatable on that level.
You're also rooting for her too, like the Anne Hathaway character, because she comes in and she's a little green-eyed and she's a little like, a fish out of water, or like a deer in the headlights or whatever. But then she figures it out through hard work. She figures out and she kicks ass at her job. And
it's also got the girl next door thing going on. Like there's a lot of the librarian lets her fucking hair down shit going on.
Also like the coworker that just hates you for no effing reason, like that Emily Blunt character. Like I've definitely experienced that too. It's just like, why is this person such a like you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's relatable in that sense. Yeah, I guess that's just my 2 cents on it.
I found it more like a women empowerment, and with a lot of money, and just trying to have to survive in times where it's always been, and I'm not, it's 20 years ago. I mean, if it's based on that or loosely based on even longer, then you know what, I could see where you have to be that type of bitch and just do your thing. But yeah, I felt that, but I also felt that motherly figure thing, and then there's a whole romantic part of it that I kind of got of that aspect. But yeah, some great humor to it too. Well, if you're reading well between the lines, you don't even have to get into detail. But I mean, it's just really, it was really well written if they're portraying it like the book too as well, right? So
I guess that's where the romantic comedy feeling comes from. It's like she's falling in love with her job.
But she's breaking up and falling in love at the same time.
I didn't even think of it like that. That's interesting. Yeah. I didn't even think of it like that.
I hadn't really considered that until just now, but I think that's why it feels that way.
That's interesting. Yeah.
it's also like interesting
Perspective movie, really.
because it is kind of like, I think, a story we've seen before, but now it's just the gender has been flipped or whatever. Now it's about women. Like, you usually see stories about like this with like men and stuff. And like the thing is like her boyfriend that she kind of breaks up with, he's kind of like the neglected wife character that you always would see in a movie. Like, baby, when are we gonna go out or whatever? When are we gonna have time for ourselves? Like, you're not paying enough attention to me, kind of thing. And it's like it's been flipped, kind of, and that's, I think, what's interesting is showing kind of like the double standards that exist in society.
I had some conflicting feelings about that because that's our boy Vinny Chase in here in this movie, Adrian Grenier. You know, listen,
is that your boy?
That's our boy from Entourage.
I never watched Entourage.
That's our boy Vinny Chase.
You never watched Entourage? What are you doing?
I might have watched a few episodes maybe at one point.
You watch everything. You haven't watched Entourage? Oh man!
But wait,
I never did that or Jersey Shore or nothing.
I also, there was a line in the movie when where Anne Hathaway is actually defending Meryl Streep, where she's like, you know, if Miranda was a guy, she would be like a career focused person, but because she's a woman, it's like, oh, she's the devil or whatever. So it's kind of like this interesting commentary about like the
sort of like
standards.
a dichotomy going on there of like she's defending
someone who made
stereotyping
a living hell, kind of, you know.
Yeah, she's defending the stereotyping, but she's also like aware that Miranda could be a bad person.
Yeah, 100%. So but it is in that way, like even with the Nate character stuff, it's showing the double standard that exists, I think, in society that we don't really pay attention to unless someone makes it obvious to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what's really cool.
What I like about it too is that they don't fully they kind of pose these questions but they kind of explore them, but they don't necessarily answer everything either about because obviously you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, it's still a story about this person at the end of the day, right? Like in her experiences. So anyways, this is my first time seeing this movie. Like GT, unlike you guys, I both have enjoyed the film and have seen it many times. It sounds like it was new to me. It's certainly not a movie I always gravitate towards checking out. I have women in my life, but they didn't watch it really when I was around, like my mom or my sisters. And at least not that I was aware of. And at this time, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been interested at that time to watch this movie, quite frankly. And then, this is definitely something that you can watch with the girlfriend or whatever. Like Christine, I found out, is a big fan of this movie. More on that later. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think there's listen, I'll say this. If the cast goes a long way for me in this film. This is a fantastic cast. And all these people at this point in their career, minus like Meryl Streep. This is like, well, no, Stanley Tucci was around for a while at this point too, but like this is an earlier film for like Anne Hathaway and I mean, again, they both had done
Emily Blunt too.
Emily Blunt especially, I'll say, but Anne Hathaway was in things.
This might have been the first thing I ever saw Emily Blunt in. I don't
Me too.
remember if I've seen her before this.
So like it's aged really well, even in that sense. Like with the sequel coming out soon. All of these people, I mean, again, are just even bigger than they were at that time, especially like Emily Blunt, who's just like, I think one of the most like prominent actresses lately that we have in films. Like she's been on a lot of really good movies since this point. And a lot of different types of roles. And, Anne Hathaway, a little bit more selective, I'd say these days, but, I've seen her in similar things like this before. But yeah, it was just a really good cast. I will say that. And then like some of the themes that you guys were talking about, like to me, like clearly themes of the film that were present were like, this is definitely one of those movies about like finding yourself and like personal growth. I felt like there's a lot of personal growth type of stuff that they're touching on in this film. Obviously, like Jay said, there is like the women empowerment type deal as well. Women in the workplace, trying to be strong-willed women, or even to challenge herself and actually accomplish something, even necessarily wasn't something she was interested in. But then, after that Stanley Tucci speech where he's like, yeah, we get it. You don't want to be here, but why don't you actually apply yourself and actually do well here while you're here? Which I thought like that was a really good moment as well in the movie. And just like, and then, there was clearly like two different that was like the point of the film where everything kind of obviously changed for her, like prior to that whole glow up that she has, like where she, they do like the Pretty Woman kind of like thing with her, right? So I liked it. It's good. It's about finding yourself, bettering yourself, the whole personal growth aspect of it. I definitely had some like nitpicks about stuff, and I did watch it twice in preparation for this talk here today. The first time around, I didn't take any notes. I was just kind of watching it with Christine, and I definitely had some trouble identifying certain things that were going on in the films in terms of the themes that I chatted with her about. And there were some challenges there, right? Like there's even like, again, it was conflicting for me. I'm trying to root for my boy Vinny Chase there, but clearly he is not a guy that people like in this film. Everyone hates him in this movie, right? Like he's a whiny bitch, as Christine put it. He's at the end of the day, like you do kind of realize he doesn't really support her. Like he's not supportive of her in a way that like she needed at that time. But at the same time, like, again, it was just one of those things as a guy, like I saw both sides of it in the moment. And like, I like that she kind of came back around at the end and she identified stuff. But at that point, they kind of both went their separate ways, and he was able to better himself as a result of everything that happened too. Right. So it's kind of interesting because I just know that everyone I've heard talk about this movie prior to now hates on Adrian Grenier's character in this. No, well, because I think if you look at his career, you can tell like it hasn't been like, he hasn't been in that many big things. I think even post Entourage, he's not like right. So listen, whether or not he's a great actor, no, that's a thing. That's a thing, right? Shit, yeah. But people seem to hate him in this movie. Like, I don't know about your thoughts, Julie, but like I've heard people talk about this movie and they all say he's the weak point of this film. A lot of people seem to don't like him.
What I think about it is, and maybe this is the point of the film. For me, when I'm watching this now, and really thinking about that aspect, it almost seems like they shouldn't even be like a couple. Like they don't seem to have any chemistry whatsoever when they're on screen together. So I'm just it just takes me out of it. Like I'm also because of the Entourage thing, I can't look at this guy not think of Vinny Chase.
I know. It's very conflicting.
Why is he not out begging like people on Hollywood Boulevard?
It's very conflicting.
He's playing an everyday guy right now.
Yeah, he's just like it's like hard to watch him play that. Like
it's very conflicting. Also, like at least for me, and that's why I'm glad you guys said this isn't really a romantic comedy, even though there's like some themes of it obviously there.
Yeah,
but it's not the main focus because like even this other love story, like that guy. I hated the other douche guy,
Christian.
Like, the worst. Like as another love interest, didn't like that guy either. I didn't like that either. Like as a love interest, that guy sucked as a counterpoint. Yeah,
the hoity-toity guy.
Yeah. Like as a counterpoint, like that Christopher guy or whatever.
Christian,
the mentalist, right?
The mentalist, dude. Yeah. You know what's funny? I didn't realize that, and then I logged on to Disney Plus after this or whatever, and then the first thing that comes up is the mentalist with this guy on the poster. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways,
Vinny Chase was
a good show.
Yeah, that show you watch. I have never watched Entourage, but The Mentalist, I'm all in on that.
This was a good show. I like that show.
It was a mind fuck. Yeah,
I've never seen a single second of that.
There is kind of. I actually. That you asked me that, I actually wrote that down while we were talking into my questions section because it hadn't really occurred to me until we were talking about it just now that I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of does sort of stir up the whole man-hater crowd to be like. The main like male characters in this movie are sort of, I don't know if they're just, well, I mean Stanley Tucci's our main guy.
I love Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci's our main guy, but he's sort of like he doesn't really fit the category for what we're talking about because he's gay in the movie. But
no, like, he is the hero of this film. I wrote that down. Sure. He is the hero of this movie.
For sure. I'm talking about the love interests on the other side of the gender. That like Christian's a shit guy. Nate is I really had not even thought about it. I think that they just don't really flesh out the character and the like relationship. They don't really like do character development with him at all. So it's like we have like kind of an easy time not investing in him as a character because they don't really pay attention to it as part of the movie. But I wrote that down while we were talking. I was like, that's actually a great question. I didn't have anything in this category. So I was just going to ask it now because we're talking about it. Do you think he was a bad boyfriend because he was so unsupportive?
He was. And I don't even think it's man-hating. Like, I think it's actually like this guy is just not a...
My first watch, I didn't think so. My second watch, I came so around obvious. To it. Yeah.
And then when someone says that to you, think about it.
But I will say Christine's the one that had to kind of more so explain that to me. I didn't necessarily I didn't necessarily feel that way the first time watching it.
Mhm.
I clearly there was issues there between the two, but I did think some of the things he was saying were fair points that he brought up about her, how she was changing and how, but then like Christine brought up the fact that like, yeah, but this was never a permanent thing. This is literally it was supposed to be 1 year of her life.
Right.
You would hope that somebody would be supportive of you in that moment for that period of time, at the very least, if this is supposed to be a long-term deal. And it's true. Like, I understood that when I watched it again, and I kind of saw it a little bit more from that perspective.
Yeah,
and I came around on it because at
kind
first
of a pouty character about the whole thing, right? Like,
right. It was like, yes, your points are valid, but as soon as like it became a little bit tougher and he was being ignored, he was kind of like ready to like,
yeah, he's being a bitch.
Well, she made that decision too, though. She's like, maybe we should take a break, but then she went and slept with this douche. That's why I hated that. Like, it was like,
well, they're on a break. I don't know. What are the rules to that?
Guys
What are
was
the
so
rules to the
douchey,
break?
though.
we gotta talk to Ross and Rachel about this one.
Well,
I don't know.
they were in a different country. It doesn't count.
I'm not mad.
What happens in Paris?
I'm not mad that she necessarily went and did that. It's more so that she went and did it with that guy. That guy sucked. That guy sucks.
Listen,
He was smooth, bro, and he had money, and that's what she wanted to do, dude. She wanted to taste a little
I
bit.
think it was just like the allure of like the aristocratic society of it all. She's sort of like a naive character,
but
right?
this is why it's a counter like relation. It is a counter rom-com type of film because those things normally don't play out that way, and they didn't here, and it obviously wasn't the main focus of the story. So to your point, I think you guys are right, but having seen so many romantic comedies and actually enjoying that genre, if I'm watching it, like I don't mind it. Like there's certain ones I like more than others.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I don't mind them.
Entanglement. Of
Christian's just the poison apple. Like it's he's
it's a conscious uncoupling. No,
it's like a three-way.
Table talk, bro. Sorry.
Christian's the poison apple. He's just,
right. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and like Nate just feels I really, until we were talking about it just now, I hadn't really even considered it so much as part of the narrative, but he is kind of a whiny bitch a little bit.
The reason why
Adrienne Grenier?
Yeah.
That's what Christine's. I mean, like again, but I didn't see that. To be fair. So you never actually necessarily fully thought that, Julie? Like,
no, because I don't think of it as a huge part of the narrative. But now that we're talking about it in detail, it's like, yeah, he sort of does suck, like as a figural thing in her life, and in this time where she's like. She's clearly like, sure, she is sort of on his side at the beginning, and she's like, it's just for a year. I don't even care about fashion. Like, he's just like, yeah, like, they're kind of in the same boat of like, this is just a temporary thing and blah, blah, blah. Right. And then she starts to come around and starts to like it, and he stays on that side of the fence.
Right.
It was like, but you didn't care.
No,
What's
it's true.
Now? Blah, blah,
I
blah.
understand that now.
He doesn't.
I didn't think that at first. I really
didn't go along for the ride. So it's kind of like,
But
what's wrong with her liking it? Like, why is he being such a fucking crabapple about it? But like, that she is like, there's flaws with how, like, I get it. Like the relationship starts to suffer. She's essentially on call 24 hours a day. The relationship is suffering, and he's got complaints, but he's not really. He's just kind of being he's sulking about it instead of like talking about it.
No, I came around on it. It's so true. It is. And I had heard that even before Christine made that argument. I had heard that people just didn't like him in this film, period. So it's interesting that you never really had that thought yourself. Like, but like you said, it's not a huge part of the storyline, but yeah, that was her argument about it. And I did come around on that the second watch because where I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, she's got a point. Like there is some points to this about like,
but she does fuck up. She fucks up. Like she misses his birthday. He's clearly upset about it.
Right.
She fucking,
he isn't though.
That guy, she's flirting with that guy in front of their mutual friends at that gallery thing.
It's my boy Vinny C. How dare you?
Fuck that guy, bro. Listen. The point of that character is that he's supposed to be the whiny
Queens Boulevard, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting when they're walking down the street on that cobblestone street. I was like waiting for him to turn around and say that shit.
Yeah.
But no, the point of that character is he's supposed to be the whiny housewife that like you don't even pay attention to when women do it. Like remember in Heat, like when the wife is always just that's no one lasers in on that woman like, oh, she's so annoying. But it's just interesting now when you see a guy do it. Now
it's
people
interesting
talk
you say
about
that
it.
because obviously this is the person I had that trouble with because I am a guy, I guess, where I'm just like I'm not used to seeing the guy in that type of role.
But I also didn't notice him, which means that they've done exactly the gender swap perfectly.
That's
You know
what I was
what?
gonna say. It's a
Okay,
gender swap.
everybody here has seen Mean Girls, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So remember in that movie when Lindsay Lohan, she does a glow up too, right? Like she's like this kid from Africa, and then she starts dressing up all like, and then she actually changes her personality and becomes kind of more bitchy too. Like she kind of becomes the Rachel McAdams character. Like she kind of actually does change, like once she glows up, and the boyfriend that she's pursuing notices that and is totally weirded out by her like personality change.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Hathaway, she doesn't actually change her personality. All she does is puts on some new clothes. Like it's not like she becomes like a fucking like a freak all of a sudden overnight.
She doesn't, like her attitude doesn't really change, but she does like invest her attention into the job more.
Yeah, and so he's just mad at that. Like it's not like so, which makes me feel like he was being a little unfair to her because of that. Like it's not like she was becoming more of a manipulating kind of person. She just was, just excelling at her job more, paying more attention. And I guess, like when he misses her birthday and he's like, "What am I, 5?" It's like, well, motherfucker, you're acting.
Yeah, but you're whining. Yeah, like
first of
you
all,
can see like the cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, it's like you're acting like you're 4, bro. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed.
But it's easy to see where the cognitive dissonance happens of like she's not paying attention to him anymore, and he's frustrated that she's just on call all the time, and she feels compelled to answer the call always. Like, of course, that's going to piss any person in that situation in a relationship is going to be annoyed by that.
The relationship, absolutely. No, that's 100% true. Like,
so I can't really fault
issues there. There is issues there.
Like, I can't fault that in the writing, but he kind of sucked to begin with, which makes him hard to side with because he was already being like, man, fuck this place, before she even liked it.
Which I had heard prior to watching this that this guy sucked, but then when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I gotta shoot my boy Vinny Chase some bail here. I'm like, hey, this guy's all right. He's not that bad. And then, no, seriously, I'm like, he's okay. And then like Christine's like, nah, that guy's a whiny bitch. And I was like, really? Like, I was like, the man's making some points here. I thought he had some
I'm with you,
points.
Nico.
Also, her friend group was kind of the same. They flipped on her too. Like, they saw her in a moment where she's flirting with a dude that's not her boyfriend. And it's like, yeah, you call out your friend on it. But like, fucking 5 minutes before that chick's filling up a designer bag that she got as a gift, and like they're happily accepting all of these perks, right?
And they're like playing catch with their phone and shit. And
like I hated that scene so much. Yeah. That made me so angry for her.
I'm with Nico on that though. I mean, I fell for him a little bit too. Because,
oh my god, bro! Honestly, take off your tampon, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, I'm with him. It's the truth.
I came around though. I did come around. The first time I watched it, I did feel that way.
I get where they're going with the whole premise.
I'm sorry the chicken got, or I'm sorry the grilled cheese got cold or whatever.
It's crazy. JT's background looks like he's part of the scene.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
you're in the room.
I'm the assistant, bro.
I mean, like
under the desk.
But here's the thing: this relationship, if this is where it caused, this is the point of this though, is this relationship was never meant to last. Like whatever happened here, like clearly they weren't feeling it. Yeah, exactly. Like but that was weird. But that was the thing. I don't know if you guys caught this though, but that was the thing. At the end, she does come around and she does recognize that maybe she changed a bit and that she was shitty and she abandoned her friends that she put in and as they put in. She agreed.
What did she do that was shitty though?
She kind of lost sight of herself a little bit.
She forgot who she was.
She neglected her personal life. Like they were kind of selfish about it.
Right.
So like that doesn't really cast them in a great light either. But
it's
about her balancing her priorities of what she found important. Like and
it goes both ways. They should have also met her there halfway.
Yeah, you have to meet people where they're at.
Exactly. No. She does lose sight of herself a bit.
It does get revealed later at the end that she didn't even end up working there for a full year. It was like less than a year. So it's like, how long was she doing this before this guy lost his patience? Was it like 2 weeks or whatever?
But that further shows how shitty he was.
That's what I'm saying.
But anyway,
shorter time frame.
She does come around though, and she does say, "Hey, listen, I messed up a little bit."
Yeah.
But this is this is what gave him also the opportunity to give him a kick in the ass and go get a job. No, seriously, he bettered himself as well.
He did.
He flew out to Boston and became a sous chef. He got a job at a prestigious restaurant. He would have never did that unless he was put in this position to begin with, where he's like, screw her. No.
Yeah.
He did the same thing he was doing because he said that. He was like, listen, he said, I'm not I'm no one to talk. I'm sitting there doing the soup every night or whatever the hell he says, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he
And
said.
they basically were gonna be fuck buddies.
So this was good for both of them. This was good for both of them at the end of
Yeah.
the movie. They were not meant to be
I mean,
together.
she
And
says like,
she's like, wow, that's great, good for you. And she flips sides. Not
Right.
that he's doing something that he hates. He's going after a job that he wanted.
right.
So like that is kind of the difference there. But yeah, for her to immediately be like, that's amazing,
She
good for you.
She was doing the same too. She was doing this 1 year whatever internship so
Right.
that it could open the doors for what she wanted really at the end of the day.
True, but she
I'm not
was.
defending him at this point. I'm just saying, like, that was interesting how it
Yeah.
came around. I think he was shitty at the end.
But the dynamic, the dynamic is obvious there. But when she goes for this interview to see if she can get this job, she's kind of like, I don't really care about fashion. I'm not that.
Right.
I'm going to be an assistant. I'm not even going to be a writer. Blah blah blah. So she's already kind of like casting a negative light on it before she even goes for it. So like there is a difference there of she's pursuing something that is not even what she wants, but could lead to something great.
Right.
And he goes and gets a job that he like has been chasing for a long time. And like there is like a dynamic difference there. But yeah,
but they both
feels unsupportive. But I didn't pick up on it until we were talking about
Interesting. That's interesting. That was a big part of it for me because I was just like, oh, this guy is not so bad. And then I was like, oh, maybe he is.
You're watching it for these purposes when you're combing everything like this fine-tooth comb of details when you're like,
baby, are you coming to bed?
Thinking about it critically, right? Like,
a loser, bro.
I know. Is this guy JT just being salty online?
I don't know. He rubbed me the wrong way.
Where's your glasses, Jay?
Is that dude from Star Trek?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool.
What's his name, Jay?
Winslow?
Oh, we're not talking about Star Trek. We're talking about Prada.
Yeah.
Jordy.
So what else?
That's
Should we check in on the Score Bros?
Sure. Score Bros.
Not a lot of score to talk about in this movie.
Yeah.
But the needle drops are great.
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. Great 2000s kind of.
A lot of Madonna.
Love that.
Vogue.
Yeah, they had to use Vogue, right? Like it's another nod.
Needle drop because of the magazine,
Vogue
right?
worked during the montage. I was like, of course you're gonna put Vogue.
And then they
here,
put it in the trailer for the second one too. So
there's so many of those songs that feel like that romantic comedy genre from that time that I'm like, oh, they don't make these anymore, you know?
U2 in this. There was
really don't.
Madonna. Get ready to jump by Madonna.
When
Get
they're
ready
in
to
Paris,
jump.
right?
Vogue.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had a couple of Madonna songs in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great needle drops in this. And...
Yeah.
You want to do watch party review?
Yeah, I can. I watched it with Parth, but I did check in with the Florida gang to see if they'd seen it, what they felt about it. Didn't get a ton of feedback, but Parth gave this a 10 out of 10. He loved it.
Wow.
I love Parth. Parth is the man.
He described it as a thriller, which I thought was really fun. He's really excited about the sequel.
Was serious.
You sure he didn't watch another movie in the background while you guys were watching
this movie with
This
me.
movie's riveting.
He loved it. He's excited about the sequel. He, like me, thinks it's probably going to be bad, but he's excited to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
He also thought the needle drops were great. The Florida gang, out of the ones who actually responded to my question in the group chat, one had seen it one time 20 years ago and doesn't feel particularly one way or the other about it. Doesn't have a great recollection of how they felt about it. The other said it's his favorite movie ever. So very mixed bag going on.
Sorry, just to go back to the whole like the Nate thing, it's actually interesting. I don't think we talked about it, but that like fractured relationship is also reflected in Miranda's relationship with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like there's this constant like fighting about it, and she's like this career woman, and she's like one of the most successful people, if not the most successful people in her field, but even her personal relationship.
It's another thing that does come up sort of. They don't know about, Miranda doesn't know about Andy's personal life, but it is like another point to the fact that she's becoming more like her in that moment in the car when she was like, oh, you've already done something that you could, with that whole bit that she gives, and she goes, you already did it to Emily.
Yeah,
she also doesn't know that side of it, but it's another point of like drawing parallel lines, right?
I feel like that point kind of just rang flat for me because it's not like she consciously edged out Emily the same way Miranda does it
Yeah,
to
she kind of had to
or whatever, right? Like,
listen to her, and say that. Listen, you got to.
yeah, she was just going along for a ride. I mean, basically, her saying like you did it to Emily was basically like you could have said no.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's really the same thing as like
not really the environment that she cultivates, right? No's are not really allowed. So
yeah. Well, I mean, she eventually Andy does say no when she throws the phone in the river.
She does, but that act of defiance comes way late in the game.
I was about to say, at a certain point, you do have to take responsibility for your own actions. Like that's when she kind of. And again, I think that does go back to losing sight of herself. She said she wasn't that person, yet she was already becoming that person in that moment where she kind of threw her ideals out the window in order to succeed. Right. So I think that has a lot to do. Again, there's those themes even come up within like their own narrative between those characters, right? Like those two characters, right? And she clearly looked in the mirror there at the end and didn't like what she was becoming, and that's when she chose to walk away. But that's what it took
to me
for her to be like,
that's the real like quote unquote female empowerment moment of the movie when she throws the phone into the river and she's like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not gonna let a job dictate like what my choices are or whatever. So
or a cell phone.
Her cell phone,
yeah.
Because remember that was that line Nate said the person you're on the phone with is who you're in a relationship.
That's the relationship you're in.
Yeah, and so that was kind of like a callback. She's like throws the phone away.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, I'll go back to the watch party review before I interjected about that point.
I think that was kind of it. Like one was just like, I saw it 20 years ago when it came out. I don't have a great memory of it, so I probably didn't feel one way or the other about it. And the other one said it's his favorite movie ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna join in on this watch party review.
Yeah.
I know this originally started with the idea for Parth that you watch these the idea for this category happened about with you watching it with a group of people or with Parth. Sometimes though with these picks I also watch them with Christine, so I figured sometimes I'll get her to throw her comments in as well for this category. So this was one that she was happy to rewatch because she hadn't seen it in a long time, and then also she didn't realize that it's on Disney Plus. For anybody out there that has Disney Plus, this movie's on there streaming. Nice. She didn't realize that. So she said she might even rewatch it again at some point now. Cause it's also like,
I want to rewatch it again.
A nostalgic comfort watch. I gotta say, as much as I did, I enjoyed the movie just fine. I am surprised still, like how much this movie, like how popular this movie is among certain people, like how much they love this movie. I don't think I'll ever get there with it personally, but I did enjoy it. I don't know if I'll even ever rewatch it again anytime soon, but I did enjoy it just to say that. But she said Miranda has one of the best introductions to a character ever with when she first comes on screen in this movie with that walk and talk thing that she does. She says
with her Prada bag.
Yeah, she says this movie has all the sass. And Stanley Tucci's her guy. She also mentioned, which I was quick to agree with. I was thinking it from the first moment I saw her. Emily Blunt does not suit the red hair, heavy eyeshadow look in this film at all. Like, I think she's got
like the blue or something here. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I just don't dig it because Emily Blunt is like I see her as like a blonde and like everything else, and then in this. The red hair, I couldn't get over it. Like I was like, I didn't like it, quite frankly. I love Emily Blunt, but I just think that it wasn't
something like super artificial about it, but that also kind of plays to the movie and the industry about like
darker
vanity,
hair.
right?
No, does she have darker hair?
Emily Blunt? But not red. Like this was like
too reddish.
Yeah, I just didn't like how she looked in this film. That part. Just like a movie. I mean, we're talking about fashion, about how they look throughout the whole film, and then we have Emily Blunt, who I think has looked better in everything else I've seen her in than in this movie. I mean, she looked fine, but I just didn't like that look personally. I mean, this was her comment about she said she didn't suit her, which I agree with. She said it's an overall feel good movie. She really loved Anne Hathaway at this time since she grew up watching her, especially in Princess Diaries, which came out before this,
Classics.
which she's seen like 100 times. That's a super nostalgic watch for her, like that movie in particular, which has similar themes with like the glow upness of it and all that. Like this kind of, I guess, was like her lane really for a few years with these movies. It seemed like right, but I've never seen that movie as well. By the way, I've never seen Princess Diaries, but she loves it. So she was like, she was a big Anne Hathaway fan at this time when this movie came out. So she would like, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all she had to say about this one. But she, that's watch party review there.
I think the thing we keep bringing up, the whole like romantic comedy, I think it's just the movie is catered towards women, and so I think that's why it has that. People draw that comparison, just like how romantic comedies I think are generally catered towards women. I feel like it's at heart it's a women's genre, romantic comedies, because there's kind of like the fantasy of like falling in love or whatever. But just like how like action movies are like kind of catered more towards men. Like there's also another thing is like whatever the main cast of characters are is like usually I feel like what the movie is kind of for. Like if the movie is mostly about women, then women will just naturally gravitate towards that, and vice versa with men. So I think that's kind of like why people bring up the whole romantic comedy of it and stuff, even though it's not a romantic comedy, right? Like,
but it has a bit of that in there. There is some relationship stuff in it, but it's not
really the focus,
not
of the
enough.
Movie. And we don't really care about that,
But I did like focus on some of that though, because like I said, I was like conflicted about this.
The real romance, if you could even call it more like a hate mance, whatever the opposite of a romance is the Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep character. Like that's who you want to like finally embrace one another or whatever. And it kind of like. It's not supposed to happen, really. Like,
so when we were talking about like our history of the movie, like in our how if we like the movie or not, I did have a couple of dislikes I can throw out here. If you guys don't mind, just to kind of even it out here, just because I know that it's all a love fest over here.
I want to hear these.
They're nitpicks mostly. They're not like hard. Like I really hated this. Like the ending.
I have one as well.
The ending was a little confusing for me the first time I watched it. I had to get Christine to explain that to me. That whole her getting one up on everybody at the end, I couldn't unpack that for the life of me.
That's my dislike too.
Really? Okay, I'm not alone then. Okay,
the whole like Miranda
over kind of
replacing with the French woman.
Yes,
it's convoluted.
But they just really didn't spend a lot of time setting it up. They're like, oh, yeah, this is so-and-so designer. This is this guy. And they're introducing everybody. But it wasn't until the second watch and after Christine had explained it to me. She literally explained it to me like in the moment. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, I don't get it.
The French chick took the job Stanley Tucci.
It's a little convoluted.
The bait and switch is not explained very well. And I didn't understand it until this watch.
Really?
Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
That wasn't confusing at all for me. I
understood what happened, but I couldn't understand why. Like it was just Miranda using her influence with that guy. I'm like, how is she able to make that decision for this other company? But then it just goes so quickly, that montage of like her explaining that she has all these people under her wing, and she'll take them with her.
That was the real power move. Like,
you got to figure that when I first watched this, I was like 14.
That's fair. The only reason I'm not surprised that you didn't understand it, but I thought like since you've seen it so many times that you may have like already come around to it, right? But I
understood how it ended, but I could not understand the lead up that got us to that point.
Well, that's the thing. They showed and named these people, but I just still like there wasn't enough focus on those things for me to be like, oh yes. And then I watched it a second time, even after she explained it to me the first time, and then I was like, okay, so this guy works with the magazine, but he's got his own global brand that's being funded by that dude who owns the magazine, and therefore he was trying to put her.
Yeah, they like Irv's involvement. I was like, who the fuck is Irv? But they talked about him way earlier.
But other than that scene in the elevator where Tucci says that, you really don't get any other time with it.
You also see him when they go to that party. Remember when they're like,
not enough to know like that's his like that's his involvement in things.
He's sort of a fleeting character. You don't really like see him long enough to like really recognize him again later in the movie. Like, but that, you know what I mean?
And I think that speaks more to what to what Miranda's doing it is that she's already played the game before you guys even thinking about it. Because
Yeah.
Right.
if you
She's
had
the
to,
one
I
always
watched
pushing
this movie
hard.
one time and I figured that out.
I still don't even understand how she caught wind that this was happening.
Well,
Oh, come
Little
on.
things
She
that
has all
happen
these
throughout the-
connections to all these designers. Like, word gets
And then
around.
she had her
Like,
own list, you know,
like
the ones
gossip
that
in the industry. Like, do
I
they
wanna see
even
the
really
Miranda list.
say?
it's more about like her being that Jacqueline girl who's the person that runs the French version of Runway,
Vogue.
right?
Oh, Runway, yeah.
So she, I think in her eyes, she was like, I'm getting older. She's the new young up and comer. Like she sees like piranhas in the water circling. You know what I mean? Like I think more that than anything is. But then like I also didn't understand like this whole James Holt guy. He's got his own designer brand or whatever that I guess like works with Runway. Like I was a little confused.
No, it's Runway is a magazine that showcases all the brands.
So what is his involvement with the magazine?
He's
the
just
James
another
Holt
one of the
guy?
designers.
He's a brand. He's just a
Like
designer.
Giorgio Armani and all that shit, right?
So again, like,
but he's starting his own company,
Right.
which I don't know what the company is meant to be. But
James Holt
it was
Group or whatever.
becoming global, which is what they were there to celebrate.
And he was going to get
when they were
Stanley
in Paris.
Tucci to be the
Exactly.
president or whatever, right?
So
Yes.
I understood that Stanley Tucci got like Miranda decided to kind of give him a pass over and put her in his position so she can't take his job. I understand that now, but like again, the way it unfolded was I just didn't know the relevance of any of these people. They were just names.
it
I
was
was
too
like-
quick. Yeah, like it happens.
You know what? That's just
Yeah.
the case of anytime you watch something and a lot of names are being said and it's hard to follow. Like if you watch The Wire and there's all these names, you're like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? Who's
Right.
this?
But I'm
It's
saying
just like-
if I saw this in theater, I saw it on
Yeah.
my couch, watched it the first time.
Mhm.
I didn't rewind it. Like I did not
And you
understand
said the
it.
second time you still didn't?
No, the second time I understood it, but that's only
that's
because
exactly
this is
what I
after Christine had to explain it to me too. I didn't understand, like for the life of me.
I understood where
I guess
everybody
on a first-
landed
I guess
after.
on a first watch, it might have
If
been-
I saw this in theaters, I would have left like this was fucking Inception at the end. I'd be like, "What just happened? Like,
Yeah.
what happened to Stanley Tucci's job? Like, you know, what I mean, I was like, he's like, you know, I felt so bad for Stanley. He's like 18
now
years.
now she owes me.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
Yeah, I always understood how everybody landed. It was just
Right.
like, how did we get to this point?
Right,
That the lead up has never made sense to me until this
understand
watch.
that Miranda is that chick. Like she knows. You know what I mean? Like she knows.
She's
knows.
like
You're gonna put the
she's
glasses
got, you
on.
know what? When you want the files, they're gonna black out the names, man.
You know,
Don't
and,
do that.
she knows all the moves. And you know what's the funniest thing? This is the line that kind of just like blew my mind when she was like, "Who?" I don't know if it was Meryl Streep that said this or someone else said this, where it's like, "Only I can do what I do." I guess it was Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Miranda.
Streep says that.
Only I can do what I do. It's like, really? Only you can pick clothes for a magazine like this?
This magazine will suffer without me running it.
How long has Anna Wintour been the editor in chief?
No, it
You know,
really was.
exactly.
It
yeah.
really was the list, though. That was the you're right. The list that she had with everyone
That was
saying,
the power move.
yes,
She's got the
that part
cards
I
in her hand.
understood.
Yeah.
I
She
just
had
didn't know
she
the
had the ace,
relation of
buddy.
these other people.
Also James Holt, like you remember we
Anna
talked about
Wintour's been there since 1988.
Anna Wintour for
Yeah.
Vogue. For Vogue,
Yep.
yeah. And she only just got replaced like a year ago. Like she's
Literally 1 year ago.
but now she's doing something else, right? Like she's still she's still in a very powerful.
He doesn't need it.
37 years she was the editor in chief.
So she's
Yeah,
doing
for
something
real.
right.
No,
Well-
like she really laid her stamp in the world. But
She was
Also,
doing
I'm not-
something right.
yeah.
I'm not I'm not like a whatever fashionista or whatever the hell. Like I
Get the
This is
mouth.
the first time hearing of this.
yeah. I'm saying I'm not. So
I know.
who am I to speak on somebody else's style? But can I just shout out the worst outfit of the film?
The red
Please.
ribbon thing.
No, the worst outfit of the film by far is the scene that that Anne Hathaway is wearing this getup when she leaves Miranda's house after she offers her the Paris job, and she's wearing like this old like English cap with beads.
That stupid fucking
Oh
hat.
my
That,
God, I'm like, what?
that reminds me of like 2007 Britney Spears
Right,
kind of.
right. I'm just like,
Oh,
I'm like,
I
you,
know what
I'm
you're
like,
talking
you
about.
look like such a douche when she leaves and she's like walking around downtown. She's got these beads on. I'm like, oh my
Yeah, that
God.
like Japanese school.
That montage is a little cringe. That,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
You don't
just
like
like,
that
what
montage?
is this outfit?
but I think it's the clothing. It's the hat. She's like, it's
It's
really,
the whole
it feels really performative.
like-
It feels like a music video.
It's like one of
Yeah.
those sad walks where she's contemplating walking around the city. I'm like, what is this? Like,
But
that,
even aside from the hat, I feel like her hair because it's so slicked back in
Right.
that scene, when they're looking at her straight on, she looks like she's bald. I hated that the styling of that.
She's got like her hands like in her pockets like this, like walking around. I'm like, what is? And then she looks great throughout the whole film, except for that one scene. I was just like, what is going on with this look here? Not my favorite look. I don't know. Stanley Tucci missed and not dressed her that day. I'll say that.
I agree.
I like Stanley Tucci's ring that he had on.
I love Stanley Tucci in this movie. I just love Stanley Tucci. He's great.
No, he's awesome.
Stanley Tucci's the man.
One thing that like really stands out to me, part of my likes category, I had the same dislike. I really did not like that.
Isn't Stanley Tucci married to Emily?
He's married to her sister.
Sister, yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's married to Felicity Blunt.
Because he does a lot of Italian cooking things, and he does a lot of.
He does the traveling show, Jay, where he
They hooked up like 6 years after the movie came out. He married Emily Blunt's sister.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I actually had to ask Christine when we were watching it too, because I'm like, because he's played a couple of gay.
You're like, is he gay?
Well, yeah. Well, he's played a couple of gay characters.
He plays a lot of that character. He's played that character many times.
That's what I mean. Like I've seen him. That's why I said I'm like, I know he is gay a lot, but is he? And she's like, no, he's married. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like I don't. Other than that traveling show where he cooks, the Italy one, I don't know anything about Stanley Tucci.
He kind of has this demeanor about him. He's just very metrosexual or something, you know?
Yeah. No, I love the guy. I just didn't know his
No, I had the same feeling.
Did they even confirm that he's gay in this movie? Maybe he's just like effeminate, like
it's alluded to, but he's gay in the book.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you read the book?
No.
Oh, okay.
The only moment where it was kind of alluded to, I felt like, at least in his commentary,
he checks out a dude at the fashion thing.
That, and then there's a moment where unless he could just be super into fashion, but he talks about how somebody grew up with a bunch of brothers that all played soccer, and he was reading Runway under a sheet.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're gay.
I know, but I'm just saying, alluding to it possibly. It's kind of, unfortunately, it is one of those stereotypes that if you're a man in the fashion industry, you are, right? Like there's a lot of them. Let's just say, maybe not so much now. It is a stereotype.
Even if we're like, if you say you're into this movie, we're like, what are you, gay? Like if a guy, like that's
that's what I thought when you said you like this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what everybody thinks, yo.
It's delightful.
I watched this having
that's a joke from I Love You Man, right? It's like
they subtly allude to it, but they don't really like outright say he's gay. Right. But there's that like monologue he's talking about, like he grew up reading it and he always wanted to be in the industry, whatever. And there's I think one time during a model photography thing that he's checking out a dude's ass, and that's all you really get in like leading
out Anne Hathaway's ass, remember?
Yeah, but exactly.
Let me see your size 4.
I'm a size 4, not a 6 anymore. Ooh.
Yeah.
Just doing it kind of like in a gay way too, I guess.
Apparently that was true. She went from a size 6 to a size 4 during filming.
In real life.
Oh, stress, not stress. I guess stress.
Size 6 is the new 14, or whatever they said.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is like the fact that Anne Hathaway's being called fat. Like
I know.
Like, let's hire the smart fat girl.
I had that written down too. I had that right, but like just like by today's standards, like insane too. Like even back then, like she's not fat. Like, but that's what makes it funny. Yeah. But that kind of is what makes it funny is because she's so lethal that she's calling her fat. Like you know what I mean? Like
one of my favorite line in the movie was when he's like, "Oh, whatever." Stanley Tucci says is like, "Oh, don't make me feed you to the models or whatever," because they're just like starving.
Well, that's the thing. She's not model skinny. Models are super
like a
fucking
toothpick,
exactly.
Well, she's skinnier than
healthy skinny. Like
kind of gross.
They make jokes about it in Zoolander.
Yeah.
Where she's like, "Oh, I'm anorexic," or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, like what? You barf after you eat?" And it's like the worst.
I barf after every meal or whatever.
He's like, "I do it all the time." This is the fashion industry.
Zoolander is an interesting. I never actually like thought about it in comparison to this movie, but yeah, it is. Like, it is totally. Yeah.
There's so something I wrote down in my likes thing, because it's something I latched onto, is that Meryl Streep's this kind of posh vocal cadence that she has reminds me of the transatlantic accent. Do you know what I mean?
Transatlantic accent?
The transatlantic accent is like how Audrey Hepburn would talk in old movies and stuff. This sort of like really emphatic, enthusiastic, but nobody really talks like that.
Yeah. Like,
like the fucking like a drum.
Kind of like it's sort of like it feels slightly British a little bit, but like anyway, apparently she modeled her voice after Clint Eastwood, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then I had to go back, and she was talking about on set when she said she took her performance. Her performance of this character was inspired by men, which I thought was funny.
sure.
But she wouldn't tell anybody who. But she did say she got the voice from Clint Eastwood, that he never ever raises his voice on set, and everyone has to lean in to listen. He's automatically the most powerful person in the room, but he's not funny. And that she stole from some other guy. She said the walk, I'm afraid, is just mine. But like, it's a thing that is like notable about the character. She's so unsympathetic, so icy, and she never, when she gets upset, she retains the same sort of calm, soft-spoken demeanor. It's something that stuck with me so much about the character.
I read an anecdote somewhere that while they were filming this, like before they started filming this, she went up to Anne Hathaway and was like, "I think you're great, and this is the last nice thing I'll say about you because
it's real method."
And you know what? I never even knew in my mind that, I mean, Meryl Streep, one of the greatest actors of all time, male or female, but I never thought in my mind that Meryl Streep was like a method actor for whatever reason, because you usually associate method acting with men for some reason. Like, you never really think about women actually doing that too. Like,
also, like, there's an extent that you can go with method. Like, was she telling everybody to call her Miranda all day? Like, that's not like,
who knows?
That's
there's like different degrees of it, right?
Sometimes there's things that they do on set where the director purposely won't put people together, or they purposely will put them together because they want to get some sort of, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when people are bad guys in films, they won't want them mixing with the set, with the people on set, because they want to, like, when they come on screen,
they want camaraderie to, like,
they want the presence to actually feel
authenticity.
Exactly.
Right?
So I think that's more in that vein than like
the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life was Daniel Day-Lewis. Like when he,
that's what I mean.
He did Gangs in New York, and he did Gangs in New York, and he caught pneumonia, and he wouldn't accept modern day medicine because
that's ridiculous.
Like,
that's
like
ridiculous.
How that's just the next level. Like, you're actually psychopath.
That's the extent of how far, like, people, like, he's the most notorious at that stuff. Yeah.
I don't think anyone is taking it that far.
He literally was telling people to call him Lincoln when he was like Abraham Lincoln. He's like, I'm Abraham Lincoln,
Mr. President.
Yeah, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't believe it. There's a certain extent with that. Like, dude, like, we're having lunch. Like, shut the fuck up.
Also, random thing, but maybe Jay, you'll appreciate this. When he was making Gangs in New York, he would listen to a lot of Eminem to get into the character because of like the aggressive sort of.
Sure.
Yes. Bill the Butcher.
I don't know if you had this in your facts there, Julie, but I also wanted to mention that there's a direct relation to this film and the last film that we just did, After Hours. Actually, did you pick up on this at all?
Both in New York.
The director of photography of this film is Florian Ballhaus, who is the son of the late Michael Ballhaus, who
nice.
who is the DP on After Hours.
Where did I see that name before?
Yeah. So there's a direct relation of who worked on this movie in After Hours.
But you know what's also a thing is like how often you set movies in New York. How many movies are set in New York? And it's always like how many different New Yorks are shown on film. Like Devil Wears Prada is totally different from like After Hours, just in total vibe and stuff. So it's this, but it's also describing the city. And
also Giselle Bundchen, Tom Brady's ex-wife, was in this too.
Who did she?
She's the woman that's sitting with
Emily Blunt. Yeah, that was her.
She was the only person from the industry that agreed to be in the movie, and it was only on the condition that she was not a model.
Yeah, she was just
like a secretary or whatever.
Yeah, she worked at Runway with her. Yeah.
Everybody else that they reached out to and asked them to cameo in the movie, they said no because they're afraid of Anna Wintour.
Yeah, and in real life, she is a model.
That was crazy. Yeah. I saw. I don't know if you guys ever see this on YouTube. The 73 questions that they ask celebrities, like Vogue, I think, on YouTube. They'll ask like random celebrities, like it's like an interview where they just ask them a bunch of questions. It's all like done in one take or whatever. And they did this. They did one on Anna Wintour, and Anna Wintour doesn't like appear to be like a crazy psycho person, but like you would think like maybe she actually is, just because based on the movie or the story. It's kind of just funny, just like the happy face we put on public versus like the hell stories her assistants must have like had. Like, so I don't know.
It's easy
behind closed doors, right?
Behind closed doors, yeah. Like when people say that about actors or whatever, like, oh, this guy's a total dick or whatever in real life, or
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah.
let's throw it over to JT before we get to favorite scenes and quotes. JT, which character would you like to smoke with in this?
Oh, finally! I've been waiting for this.
Oh man,
who would I do it? Who would I do it with?
That's not the question.
I know.
but maybe the
You can throw that in there too if you'd like.
We already know the answer.
We already know Max's answer to
What's
that
my
one.
answer?
Yours is Anne Hathaway. Get the fuck out of here.
No, my answer would be Meryl Streep, so she would chill the fuck out.
Whoa, he's got the cure.
She needed a joint.
No, I was talking about who'd you want to sleep with. I
I thought smoke with.
Smoke with is Meryl Streep, so she calm down.
She'd calm the fuck down, like not take things so seriously.
Jay?
You know what?
But yeah, Anne Hathaway for the no question.
No, I mean I would say Emily Blunt. Why not?
Blunt.
That's my answer too. It's in the name.
Her name
Blunt.
is Blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't even think of that.
Meant to be, right? Like
Yo, Blood, smoke a
I
blunt.
thought he was about to come out and say the boyfriend, and I was going to walk off.
I was thinking about it, right?
I
was
knew
thinking
it.
the
I could see the
mentalist. No, I was thinking the
gears
mentalist.
Well, I mean, that might not be a bad choice because he's also a cook. So when you have
He's already high all the time.
you know,
No, I think Emily
I can do
Blunt
that
has,
anytime. Don't worry.
has
I
the
can go
ability to be a really fun chick if she was able to chill in this movie. I think
Emily
that
Blunt?
I think the part where she crashes out when she's in the hospital, I love
she's
that
like,
part.
she's like unpeeling the pudding cup.
She's chowing down on the bread. I'm just like, yeah, she seems
You
like
eat carbs, for Christ's sake.
I
She made me
love
laugh
when
and
she's
cry
like,
in this whole
"Hey."
fucking movie.
She's like, "Do you have any plans this weekend?" Yes, and she just like walks away.
Yeah,
So
that
funny.
scene is so sad.
I
'Cause you
know.
think, like she's probably like a super lonely person. Like she's like, yes. and then she's
That's
like,
what I would like to
Yeah.
like. I would like to smoke with her for that
Yeah.
reason. Yeah, she seems.
But you see these moments where she turns the other cheek and she's like, "Oh, wow, your outfit's amazing." And she's like, "Really? Like, you think so?" And then she sort of perks up. And she's like, "Oh, every time I think I'm gonna faint, I eat a cube of cheese."
I'm one more flew away from my perfect weight for Paris. Or
Foreshadowing.
I love my job. I love my job. I love my job.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But we're already in the mix here. Let's talk about favorite scenes and quotes. Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, every Stanley Tucci scene is my favorite scene. Fuck. I can't even. How can I even? Yeah, but I mean, there's the. It's sort of in the beginning, the monologue where she sort of snickers at the two belts that are so different, and then Meryl Streep gives that.
Yeah,
that's a great scene.
It's so great because
This stuff.
She eviscerates her. In
But
that
you know what?
speech,
She
like,
deserved that
crazy.
shit.
Yeah,
She deserves
it's
that.
true. Like she was out of line. Like you're in front of all these people, and whether you give a shit or not, you have to obviously socially be aware of the situation of who you're in front of.
Snickering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was for me. That was my favorite Stanley Tucci scene is when he says that speech to her, where he's like, "Listen, we
You're
all
whining,
know, you're not trying, you're whining.
Yeah.
You're basically." You want everybody. We all know you. This isn't your job that you want to like work forever. Like at least
Basically have a
apply
better
yourself.
attitude, yeah.
Apply yourself when you're here. Don't
100%.
insult us because it's insulting to the people that actually take it serious and actually respect this industry. Like that's what I mean. Like it's.
But it's
and
like
that's what
that
he
in
was
every
trying to say.
job, bro.
Right.
For some people, that is their dream job.
Right.
And,
But that's what Stanley Tucci was trying to say. He's like, I dreamt of working here. Like, don't insult me. Don't insult her by doing this. Like, you're insulting us. Like, we care about this stuff. You don't, clearly, right? Like, it was almost like I'm better than you kind of attitude that she was giving, like the moral kind of like some sort of superiority kind of complex type shit where she's like, this stuff doesn't matter to me. Like,
I'm better and smarter and blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
I love in that
just talking about clothes all day.
cerulean sweater scene.
That's the one I'm talking about where she says, these lapis and cerulean filtered down to these bargain bins that you no doubt picked out of some clearance section.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Great speech. It was a great speech. But I was earlier in that scene when she's like, "Where are the belts for this dress?" And then the person has to like rush towards the belts. And she's like, "Why is no one ready?" It's just like,
I have that
that
written down. But the way she does it is she says it under her breath, kind of. She's like,
it's like, God damn, you can't even give someone 5 seconds to reach for a belt.
And I analyzed this one because I love that line too. She doesn't even say dress. She says dress with like one S. She's like, dress. Why is no one ready? Like she like trails off like right after.
Why is no one ready? Like that shit is so good.
She does it. The line delivery is perfect.
That's all.
There's two lines from this movie that, when context presents itself, sometimes that I can use them in situation in real life. It's mostly for people that have seen the movie, like they'll get the reference, right?
Very cool.
But they're both Miranda lines that when she says, "Don't be silly, Andrea, everybody wants this." I fucking love that.
Yeah, she's like Dr. Evil in that fucking.
Fuck, it's such a good line. And the other one that I love is she says, "By all means, move at a glacial pace." You know how that thrills me. I love that line.
Or what about when she's like, obviously you have no fashion sense, and then she's like, no, that wasn't a question, right? She's just like,
that's all.
Like dismantling,
and then Stanley Tucci comes in like 2 seconds later. Is like, who is that sad little person? Are we doing a before and after piece that I don't know about? Or when he walks in the office before knowing who she is, like, does someone eat an onion bagel? This funny. She's like,
they're so catty and they're so fierce. That's the comedy in the whole thing. They're so funny.
Jay, what you got any?
What favorite scenes are we in quotes too? But
Both.
the scenes I liked. Honestly I liked the introduction to her as a character, when she's doing the interview and she's pointing out everything and how everybody's really pointing. But I also like the one of my other favorite scenes was the scene, the vulnerable side of her when
that was a great
Anne Hathaway, Anne Hathaway, she's got no
and
makeup on, she's teared up, she's found out about her divorce, and this is where it this movie kind of does a little weird turn for me. It's starting to let you know that people do have, other issues and stuff like that too, which was pretty,
I feel sorry for her,
but this is also it was a pivotal point for I think Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, right? Because at this point it was very pivotal for her to see that part of her, because she was going through that at that moment in that sense, but she was hiding it, right? And I like that vulnerability of it, right? And that scene, the way she played that character after being this great snobby, nobody's gonna out diva me in this fucking movie.
It's right? The only moment where she shows humanity of any sort in this film.
And very, very little, but is there. Actually,
it was the kids that really killed her at the end of the day, which I liked. Yeah, that was
all about her kids.
She's like, I don't care. Rupert Murdoch can write whatever the hell he wants about me. It's the kids that I'm worried about, like how they're going to take all this.
It's interesting that JT latched onto that scene, because you know what I was just thinking about?
What, are you gonna make fun of me
when
now?
Miranda says, "Come up here," and clearly she's about to see her like this, and it's going to instigate a conversation about what's wrong, and she doesn't want to talk about it, and it's sort of like a lead on of like, come up here, see me like this, and she goes, "Oh, are you okay?" And all she wants to talk about is work, and they sort of move on from it, but it's like her being vulnerable, but also like it is like the cry for help moment when she calls her up. She could have just said she could have just let her leave the book on the side there and not had her see her like that, but she calls her up to have a human.
She chose to do that.
She chose it because she wanted to talk about it with a person, but
also because she says in a part there that she sees a lot of her in her.
That's later.
But no, but there's still, right? You can get that afterwards even more in that you know what I'm saying? This one gravitated towards me because I felt like I knew that the other girl, Andy there, she was very, down to earth before she came into all this, right? And just trying to impress. She must have knew that right off the bat. Otherwise, she wouldn't have called her up there to say vulnerable. She wanted to see what she was going to ask her. Everything was a test for what Thing did, what Miranda did. Everything that she's done, put everybody through, was a test. And
is that true?
That's the way I feel. Right.
All right.
I mean,
what's so great about that scene is like what Julie was saying about that move at a glacial pace. Even when she's being vulnerable or whatever, she's still like such a bitch.
Yeah.
She hasn't shed that at all. Like that's
all.
Still fire.
Do your job. It's like, Miranda, is there anything I could do? She's like, your job.
Your job.
Yeah.
Your job.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier too, but I really thought the ending was powerful too. But it was more powerful in the sense that after she has that realization in the limo, It's the scene where she walks out and she turns around and Andy's nowhere to be seen. She's already gone across the street and walked off, and just the look on her face, and just the fact that it's such a parting of ways in that moment of like her turning her back finally on her and walking away. I just thought that was like
she was a little bit happy for her.
Well, but that's what you get at the end.
Yes,
with the
where
car,
it reassures
where
it's
she
for
gets
you.
into the limo, and first she ignores her completely.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know who that person is waving at me, and she's like sitting there waving at her, and then she gets in the car, and then you see her give a slight little smile, and then it's just like,
which
to
was
the
a
driver.
callback to it earlier.
But also the reference that she got when she applied for that other thing that Miranda called in, or he talked to her, and she said she was my biggest disappointment, but you'd be a moron not to hire her.
That's
You'd
right.
be an idiot. Yeah,
You're an idiot if you don't hire.
Something right.
But that was what the guy said. He's like, you clearly made some sort of impression on her.
What about the scene?
Because it all plays back to her in the limo too, right? With her saying that, listen, you've already done it. You had your choice to come to Paris or not. You know what I mean? Like, so you've already fell into the trap, really, in a sense, or you've already fell into that hole. What was that thing she said that fuck?
You already made your choice, or
no? But they said don't fall into the what was it? The mentalist guy said it. The fuck was it? No, I didn't write it down, but he had said something, a key point there, when he said.
Oh, that's why I hated that guy. He was very condescending. He was calling her Miranda girl, and he was like just a douche.
And she
like,
hated that shit.
Yeah, but that
she slept with him.
Can I just
lower level people are like disposable to him?
Okay, I gotta ask Julie. I don't know. Like, so here's the thing. It seems to me that like it's some sort of a flex. The line where she turns to him and says, like, I'm not your baby there, right? Where he's like, baby, or whatever, like, you know.
Baby, it's done.
Yeah, baby, it's done. Don't worry about it, right? He's like, I'm not your baby. And she storms out. He already got what he wanted out of this situation.
And he has money. He's gonna go again.
That's what I mean. Like, no, I just felt like that was supposed to be like the empowering woman moment. Like, screw you, I'm done with you.
Technically, he didn't actually get his moment. He banged her, yes,
exactly.
But he automatically thinks he's probably automatically thinking
he lost her because of that for sure.
No, but he's automatically thinking because she's seen the book of Miranda.
She did.
Of that, yeah.
She asked him about
the
it.
book. Yeah, she's seen the book.
Lose in the end.
So
I just don't think it's that much of a
because
flex.
he was supposed to put that letter
end
that
up
out.
being the editor.
The editor, no,
or whatever position he was.
It was not as much of like screw you type moment that I wish it was, because it would have been more powerful. I felt like if she did it. Listen, she had her own reasons to sleep with him too. I'm sure she got enjoyment out of it. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying. No, I'm trying to.
I would hope so.
No, but it's just like it's such a douchey thing for like that guy could have just like literally if she left that room, the next scene that was cut out of that could be this guy be like, I don't care about her. I already slept with her. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's how much
he
of
was
a
the real.
Ultimately, it's not. It doesn't come down to her influence because it's already done by the time she gets there. But he also gets fucked out of a job.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't actually think of that.
No,
I actually didn't think about
that. And her leaving in that moment and like, don't call me baby, that whole bit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like her turn and spit the line. It's cheesy and it doesn't hit.
That was a mic drop, but
I feel like it's supposed, and it does to his degree. But when you really,
but not to the level that they think. Like it just comes across as a cheesy line. But she's like on her way out the door, about to fuck him out of a job, and they've like sort of had a verbal agreement.
I didn't think about that part of it.
But we're also now.
But she doesn't end up being the one to do it, so it's sort of lost in that Miranda already dealt with it. But
yeah, good point.
But it's her saying, like, I'm about to fuck you over.
What about the scene when Miranda's stuck in, like, Florida or whatever, and there's, like, a hurricane?
Hilarious.
That's, like, probably the funniest scene in the movie.
Some weather thing happening.
Yeah, some weather thing. And there's, like, a thunder scene.
There's a hurricane going on.
And then, like, she's on the phone while she's on, like, a dinner with her father, and she, like, slaps the cab door in his face trying to, like, get the fucking tickets and stuff. Like, it's just a classic.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Call the Coast Guard? Can I do that?
Can I do that? And have her like emergency like airlifted out of there, whatever. Like, and then I also like the scene when she has to get the Harry Potter book. That's always been like a
that was her biggest flex.
Yeah.
It's just a copy if you want it. I've already got it on the train.
He did that to punish her for seeing her in her home with the husband, right? Yeah. Like that's what that was. That was a direct response to her like going and doing something she wasn't supposed to. I like the line too when she tells her that she's going to Paris, going to the show as well with them, and she had to review all the attendance, and she's like, "Yes, I thought that was only for the first assistant. Only when the first assistant hasn't become an incubus of viral play."
What's the line that she says when Emily hands her the piece of paper and she's like, "Oh, some does anybody have anything else like some
antibacterial wipe?"
Yeah.
The clothes that you're going to get, you don't deserve them. You eat carbs, for God's sakes. Emily with the Paris thing, and she's like scarfing down the pudding and the bread.
And the bit where at the end where she's like, "I have all these clothes from Paris that I can't use anymore," and she goes, "Well, I'll drown in them, but I suppose I can take them
out." Yeah.
That part
to have them tailored.
That scene though made me like tear up. That part there.
Oh,
interaction, yeah,
beautiful.
Which one?
It was
where she calls Emily and says, "Can you take these clothes?
Can you take these clothes?" That and the little smile that thing gives at the end. I think that was my favorite.
Emily,
the ending was phenomenal.
Miranda smiling in the limo.
Yes, because she was still giving the nod to fucking Emily. To Andy for getting out. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then she still. Emily Blunt there still had to play her part as the secretary there, but you know what I mean. And she was happy, like she almost looked like she was going to tear up.
Like, oh, she's a good kid.
Well,
I was smiling, tearing though.
Yeah, Emily's only genuine part to her was when she saved her during that party by remembering who the relation of those people, and she's just like genuinely like thank you to her, like, and she's sick because she had like the flu or whatever, right? Like, and I like to the heartbreaking moment for me honestly was Stanley Tucci losing that job opportunity. He was so excited because like for the first time in 18 years I'm gonna be able like to actually
make my own decisions.
I can see Paris like for once when we actually.
But he knew he was on the list, bro.
Oh my god! And then he's like, and then he says to her like when she's like, when it's time, she'll pay me back. He's like, are you sure about that? He's like, no, but I have to hope for the best. I have to. Yeah. And like just the way that you never see like Stanley Tucci again after that, I was like, that made me like crushed because I'm like Stanley. Like if it wasn't for Stanley Tucci, she wouldn't have succeeded. Yeah, like he was the one that started outfitting her.
Right? He was going to leave, right?
Yeah, he took her under his wing too.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and he worked so hard. Like you could tell, like he was like her right hand man, like in that company, right? Like so, like it was just like that was crushing. That was crushing.
I have a question for you guys. If you guys can think of like on the top of your head, what do you guys think is the shittiest thing Miranda does in the movie?
I don't really like her throwing her fucking things on the table like that. Like what?
Specifically the one when
what a bitch.
When like I guess like Emily F's up and so Anne Hathaway like she comes into the office and Anne Hathaway like reaches out to grab Miranda's jacket and Miranda just looks at Anne Hathaway and then just throws it on Emily's desk because she like effed up I'm like, yo, that is so shitty. Like, you could have just given her the jacket. Like, why'd you have to throw it off on Emily's desk?
The whole punishment scene drove me nuts where she was like, I want my steak. And then she gets back, she goes, what is that? I don't want that. I'm like, that pissed me off so much.
Oh,
I cannot picture her eating a steak.
Actually, I forgot about that. I think that one would, because I was pissed that it looked like such a delicious steak and it just gets thrown out. Yeah, I was pissed about that.
That whole punishment scene where she has her running around doing all these impossible tasks, that pissed me off.
What about when she's forced to do her kid's science project or whatever? Like, what?
She's doing that at home in her own time.
Like, are you
Oh my god, yeah, that's what that is. I asked that question during the movie, this watch. I was like, why is she building a fucking space thing?
He says that. She's like,
it's
I thought you quit. Why are you still working on the twin science project?
Also,
I missed it. I wasn't listening.
When she starts calling her Emily for the first time, she goes in the office and she tells her like 5 things and she has a hard time to remember it. Yeah. When she says to her, he's like, and Emily, and she looks at her and she disgustingly looks up and down at what she's wearing. And that look, I'm just like, I would have just walked out right there and then. I'm like, do not look at me like that was.
No, what's crazy?
Skirts were kind of skirts. Please bore someone else with your questions.
Oh my god!
What's crazy is like when Andy corrects Miranda, like, oh, my name's actually Andy, and everyone was like, whoa, like, don't even say that to her. Like, it's just like the littlest things will like take her off.
How about you, Jay? What do you think was the worst thing she did?
I don't think anything was bad, bro. I'll be honestly, because she's playing that character.
Are you afraid of Anna Wintour? She's not coming for us.
No, she's
she'll have us all.
She's got enough pay. She's got enough power to just remove this from.
Just get it erase us.
So, no, but no, honestly, I mean, I thought they were funny. I didn't think anything was unnecessarily like like bad, like punishment in that sense, right? But yeah, maybe getting hit by the car when she was going to get all that stuff. What's her name? Emily Blunt.
Emily.
Yeah, but Miranda didn't do that to her. Maybe she did.
Yeah, she did by making her go get all that stuff. She was the run around her after that. She got kind of like a demotion, if you want to say.
One of the best Emily lines too is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have some prior commitment to some hideous skirt convention to go to?"
I love that line.
Oh my god! I
And
had
it's
a
like,
friend
"Oh,
growing up that wore a skirt like that.
oh yeah,
like a
where'd she get that
vest,
sweater?
Yeah,
Her
with the fucking-
grandmother's. Or whatever. Oh man. Anything else, Julie?
No, we've covered it all.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. I think I'm just looking through my notes here.
Are you allowed to play a gay guy on TV nowadays?
I guess
He's
now
like that in real life, though, and they don't really say that
know.
he's gay in the
I know.
movie.
But now it's become like a whole thing because of the like
know.
uber political.
I think they accept him.
I think it happens.
You have to be
It
gay to
happens
play gay
less.
now.
It
It's
happens
so-
less.
Yeah,
now.
because they've been like bullied out of it. Like,
But I think that this is one of those movies that they look at the character and they're like, they have no problem.
So, but some of them, you know what? I think it's even television stuff like that too. They're not necessarily. It's just that's what they're doing. They're acting. There's a whole thing called acting.
It's
for a
called
reason,
acting.
regardless.
Like, you
Yeah.
don't like. I hate that. I hate that argument that people have. about
I
this
know,
thing.
but it seems to pop up in everything nowadays. That's the problem. And we're watching a movie that was 20 years ago depicted, where you could probably do it without anybody questioning whether you were gay or not, right?
Yeah, there's something so interesting about like 2000s movies. Like it's officially dated now. Like 2000s was like 20 years ago. If you can like wrap your mind around that, but
It's hard, no?
it is dated. But then it is also feels fresh at the same time. I mean, besides the way the cell phones look, this movie could have just came
The
out.
sidekick,
yesterday.
the fucking
The T-Mobile thing. Like
it will be interesting, I guess, to see the sequel, how that changes
Yeah.
things, right? Like even in terms of like the fashion industry, I'm sure there's been a lot.
Oh
of changes.
fuck, huge! You would think,
This
right?
is, by the way, like this is, I will say it was a good pick too, in the sense that like this is a world like I know nothing about in that sense. Like, so it was interesting just to kind of even get like a small look at maybe the way things operate or whatever. I don't know. Like you said, like there's some authenticity to this, I'm sure, whether or not it was like, you know, we didn't get that much of it, I guess, in this because it was more about the character instead of like the work, right? But
You think
yeah, it was interesting to say the least.
in the new film they're going to use more actual people that are name branded like designers?
Probably,
and stuff like that now, 'cause
because
now
maybe
you
now that
wanna
Anna
be in on it.
Wintour's
Anna
gone.
Wintour likes the movies. So
The
now
legacy
maybe
behind
people-
this film, they probably will actually.
Actually,
That's
there
what
was
I mean.
somebody at Prada that when
That's
they
what I
were
was going to
talking
ask.
to
Prada.
during production, there was somebody at Prada that broke the ice for them. It was like, you know that she's not going to care, right? Like, make the movie.
You
Who
know
cares?
what? That actually scares me now because I notice a lot of times in sequels, like comedy sequels, they just become like cameo fests now. Like the Happy Gilmore sequel or the Zoolander sequel. It's just like, let's see how many like famous people we can throw in this, and it's just like it kind of just kills the spirit of what the original was in a way. So,
Even the second Zoolander was like that.
yeah,
which is
Zoolander.
terrible.
Yeah, it was just
The first one's great, but the second one not so
Yeah.
much.
terrible.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
It's
Well,
really rare.
apparently, apparently, whether it's with you guys or with Christine, now
I'm-
I'm watching it now.
I'm down,
Apparently,
I'm down. You know, the thing is, it's like it's very rare that a belated sequel to something works out. It actually almost never works out.
Yeah.
Like Top Gun Maverick might be like the outlier, I think, of certain things. But then it's even rare when a comedy sequel is as good as the 1st one or whatever. Like maybe like Rush Hour and 22 Jump Street. Like,
sometimes they tap into something special, like where they can't really kind of come back. They can't go back home again, right?
So I'm a little nervous about the
Shrek
work.
2
I'll
wasn't
watch the
bad.
movie.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you know my like hope is like that it reaches that sort of ceiling that the first one did, but you know it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, this is
Julie, anything else? No. Questions. I had a couple.
I asked mine already about Nate, the boyfriend.
I asked. I guess I asked one too about the Miranda. Like, what's the shittiest thing Miranda did?
Yeah.
Mine just was. I mean, it's really just questions I had about like just choices of the character. Like, I still don't really know why. Like, Miranda does try to justify why she hired Andy, but I still think it's a weird choice. Like, how she's trying to hire somebody
smart fat girl,
the opposite of everybody that hasn't been working out recently, right? you know, I guess that's a reasoning, but at the end of the day, I still don't see her hiring somebody like Andy. It kind of seemed like
Wait,
an odd.
Everyone loves a project.
Wait,
I guess
That's what I mean. That's what I was thinking it was too, right?
I guess
That's
this
what I
was
was
her challenge of the film, quite
Yeah.
honestly, because just like she was being challenged, maybe this was a challenge for her to
She's like,
accept.
watch me turn this frumpy bitch into
yeah.
me.
thinking. It was one of her like Barbies or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Did you say she got this job through like human resources, or
Yeah.
isn't that like an agency that'll like give you
No,
a
it's
job?
internal human
Internal thing?
resources.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
like LinkedIn would be right now, I think. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, how did she just fall into this job where it's like, it seems like this would be a very sought after position, and she just kind of like falls into it, kind of like with having nothing related to doing, with the fashion industry. I just feel like it would be kind of unlikely she would get hired,
Right. Oh, I
You know?
agree. But again, it was like, but I get the idea of why she wanted the job, because like she said, it was a thing that opened up
Huge
opportunities.
opportunity,
Yeah. And for magazine editors as well that she can write for. Right. So it makes sense. I also wrote down, like, how the hell does Miranda have kids? Like, I just don't understand how she would have time for kids. She clearly didn't. Like it just seems like
She had a nanny.
Are they like adopted, maybe, or
no, I think it was from her first marriage.
Yeah, from her first.
Yeah.
I would assume, right? So I
They
just
were
Well,
from
Anna
the first
Wintour probably
marriage.
has kids, right? So then,
I just think that somebody who works themselves like this, like,
To
it's
death,
hard,
as well.
which is, I guess, proven with her marriage is failing, right? That's what she said. I work too much, like,
Yeah.
So
I mean, she's probably pregnant, like.
The nanny actually was a cameo, but I forget who it was.
Oh, one of my favorite lines is when she delivers the book and she has to like
Heidi
go-
Klum was in the movie.
yeah, I saw her in the background. Yeah,
the when she
They all
goes
play
to
themselves.
The person who wrote the book is the nanny.
oh, okay.
the
Lauren
nanny.
Weisberger is the nanny to the twins.
When did they show the nanny? Was it when they're on the subway? When they're not on the subway, the
Yes,
train?
when
to
on the
pick them up?
train.
Yeah, and they're sitting, and they're reading the Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
No, okay, can I just say one of my favorite quotes in the movie is when she goes up to the top floor to give the book, like,
Mhm.
right, and then the next day Emily's like yelling at her, and she's just like, "Why didn't you just crawl into bed and read her a bedtime story or whatever?" that was one of my favorite lines.
Ultimately, though, my biggest question of this whole film, which I guess will be answered in the sequel,
Mhm.
is what happens to Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
guess-
think she actually came through for him or not?
I guess we'll find out. I guess
Right?
we'll
He's
find
in
out.
it.
I think the sequel, Emily is the villain, right? She's the one.
Oh,
like,
is she the one?
did you remember in the trailer? Like, she's like.
I remember we talked about it, but I can't recall.
Rewatch the
He
trailer.
didn't have the context to know what anybody was, right?
That's
And
what
we
I mean.
watched
I
it.
didn't have the
Yeah.
context.
It's like I think
the only thing I remember is Miranda walks in and she doesn't remember
She
who
doesn't
she
remember,
is. Yeah.
I think the story is Anne Hathaway is like the editor, or she's like a top girl at whatever company she's at, doing what
Mhm.
she wants to do, and then Meryl Streep is still Meryl Streep, and then I think Emily is now a CEO of some company, and she's
Oh.
like, it's like the tables have turned, like she's the one like
okay.
exacting revenge or something like that. I think
Interesting.
she's gonna be like the villain of the movie.
Okay.
You know, like when the
Wanted the
janitor
power.
became the CEO, kind of.
Emily's
story, like,
the villain.
I think
or
she's
Andy.
the villain. Emily Blunt's character.
Okay,
I think
okay.
she's the villain of the movie,
All
or the
right.
quote unquote villain, right? Like,
Mhm.
Right.
But there's actually a third Devil Wears Prada book too. So I don't
Yeah.
know like where the story
There-
goes after that.
There's also apparently like a
Yes.
softcore porn that I found when I
The
went.
Devil Wears Nada.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Kanye West lyric? That's a Kanye
it's,
West
it's
lyric.
actually also the name of a Simpsons episode.
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, where they kind of
If
did.
if the devil wears Prada and Adam and Eve wear Nada,
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in between,
If you
but
look-
way more fresher.
Yeah, if you look it up on Letterboxd, there is a movie that's on here, which would make me think it's like a softcore porn that says like they said that the movie opens up with a lesbian scene. The
Hey.
Devil Wears Nada.
Ooh.
Between Andy and Emily. Probably.
JT's like, write that down for later.
Feminism.
Yeah, so that's definitely my movie double feature. I'm gonna throw in their Devil Wears Prada. No, I need to know what happens to Stanley Tucci though. I can't believe they screwed over my boy.
They gotta
Tucci.
bring him back.
I hope he gets a promotion of some kind.
Little Tucci or little tuna fish.
Yeah.
Tucci. All right, Julie, movie double feature.
Alrighty. Movies to pair with.
Let's get it.
I wrote down Black Swan. That
Whoa,
was organic.
that's a pick.
Mean Girls.
Nice.
Pitch Perfect.
Nice.
Legally Blonde.
Totally.
Just My Luck. Did anybody ever see that one?
Which one is that?
Lindsay Lohan is a writer for some fucking music magazine, and she's chasing this British boy band and this other guy.
Mm-mm.
Same kind of but more on the romantic comedy side of things, like actual romantic comedy.
Okay.
13 Going on 30.
Oh, sure.
I love that movie.
Sure, yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Jennifer Garner
Yeah.
movie? Yeah.
Mark
Yes.
Ruffalo.
Yeah. 10 Things I Hate About You for sure.
Classic.
Yeah.
I love that
That's,
movie.
I mean, that's the ultimate, like, is that the glow up one or is it the other one? That's the,
Mean Girls.
no, there's one from that era. She's All That, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
She's All That. Yeah, that is the glow up
That's
movie.
the glow up
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. They even make fun of it in the high school.
Not Another Teen
Not
Movie.
Another
Yeah.
Teen Movie. Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Stick It. Does anybody remember that one?
Yep.
I also just like, as a Meryl Streep double feature, Mamma Mia, she has the same sunglasses in that movie.
Okay.
She kept the sunglasses from production and used them in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I think an obvious pairing might be, because this is a Cinderella story, I have to say Cinderella.
Okay.
The animation.
And I haven't seen this movie, but I mean, loosely knowing the story of the character, but Cruella, which was
The Emma Stone
what's her name? Emma Stone, yeah.
It's good.
Kind of like
Cruella.
Meryl Streep does have a very Cruella DeVille kind of vibe.
Totally does.
I will tell you parts pairings.
Yeah.
He said a House of Gucci, Zoolander, the Barbie movie.
I like that movie. That's a
Ridley
Ridley Scott
Scott,
movie.
yeah.
It's not that good.
With Adam Driver
Oh my
and like
God.
Lady Gaga.
I mean,
doing it.
I wrote it down
wanna
too,
watch
but
that
I
movie.
dislike that movie actively. But sorry, go on. Sorry.
House of Gucci, Zoolander, the Barbie movie, Whiplash, and The Intern.
Whiplash is such a good one, and The Intern for
Whiplash.
sure.
I just saw Whiplash for the first
Right.
time.
Whiplash, like
Whiplash
I
is
totally
great.
thought of it. Whiplash
I
is
can
this
see
like
Intern.
the male version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see Intern and stuff like that.
Ah, man, you guys
The
are
Intern.
sniping all mine. I wrote down The Intern too. That movie's delightful.
The Intern is the most obvious.
It's the
one.
best. It's the best. But she plays the
The
Miranda
boss.
role in that.
But she's not a. She's not.
But
like a,
she's
a nice
she
person.
overworks herself
Yeah.
though, and she's kind of snippy to people at
But
the
she's
start.
not Miranda.
No,
Snippy. And
but-
Robert De Niro.
but
and
she
her are so good.
overworks herself.
Yeah.
Is that's the point.
100%.
It's the best old man De Niro role ever.
I
that
agree
one.
with you
I love it.
100%.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
you're
great.
right on that.
It's great. and that one's complicated too because she finds out her husband is cheating on her in that
Yeah.
movie, and then she chooses to stay with him.
Yeah,
at the end of the
yo,
movie.
that's crazy.
Like if she's just like, oh yeah, well, we'll see
That's
what
another
happens.
type of movie that we're talking about. Like these, I feel like that's another movie that may be also more catered towards women, but it's not a rom-com. You know?
Yeah.
It just has that kind of like delightful.
See, now that's my sweet spot of that
Bru-
type. I love
Yeah,
that movie. I love
That's like
that
kind of like
movie.
a sweet kind of brunch.
That's like my
Sunday
Devil Wears
matinee,
Prada with
springtime
her,
movie.
honestly.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen that, Julie?
No.
You should. You
it's
should.
good. It is good. Yeah.
Hmm.
I love that movie.
How about you?
Julie said Crazy Rich Asians for sure.
I haven't seen that, so I didn't.
I love that movie. Intern for sure. For like a Meryl Streep one, do you guys remember Julie and Julia? When
Yep.
she played Julia Childs, and then like Amy
Wasn't
Adams.
Stanley
like-
Tucci play the husband or
I
something?
think she was, yeah. Stanley Tucci was in that too, and then the Anne Hathaway character was like Amy Adams. She was like the other cook was like a, and then this is like more kind of like my like girly kind of taste stuff that exposing like I would say the show Sex in the City for sure, like the whole
Sure.
New York and fashion, and then like the younger version of that, like the Gossip Girl show. I feel like the first one was like New York and like all this fashion.
I think this guy directed the Sex and the City movie.
Mm,
And he also directed Marley and Me and some other one that I forget.
nice. Okay, I guess that makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. And and of course Entourage, right? Because of our boy Vinny Chase, right? throw the.
I am Queens Boulevard.
I think I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
I'm going to throw in Medellin.
James Cameron's Aquaman.
Yeah. Queens Boulevard. Those are all Vinny Chase movies from Entourage. Right? But it doesn't get them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm still listening. I'm just going to shut my window.
yeah. This is from Christine. I couldn't recommend this one necessarily, but that's Princess Diaries just because I haven't seen it. But she says
For
it pairs
sure,
well with
for
this
sure.
because that's actually the same type of deal with the glow up of the character, and also she was young. That was actually before this by a few years. Actually, younger than that one. I wrote down Working Girl with that's a really good one. Have you guys ever seen that one? It's Harrison Ford's in it, and it's about like again somebody who comes in, Melanie Griffith comes in, and she basically takes over. The only reason I watched it is because Rewatchables talked about it last year at some point.
Is
And
that the one that he won the Oscar for, Harrison Ford? Or?
I don't know if he won the Oscar for it, but it's kind of the same thing where she has a shitty boss and she ends up getting injured, and then she kind of takes Melanie Griffith, pretends that she's the boss. Like it's like again another like empowerment kind of like woman empowerment kind of in the workplace type of film. And Harrison Ford comes through and Max Melanie Griffith in this movie as well. Who just got a Lifetime Achievement Award actually the other day, I think at the SAG Awards.
Witness.
Harrison Ford. Witness. Yeah,
was the movie that he won the Oscar for.
So Working Girl, honestly, Wall Street is the man version of this.
100%.
Like Wall Street, that whole 100%. Scene with him in the limo at the end too, where they're having a talk, him and Charlie Sheen, very similar to what happened in this film.
The whole greed is good speech is so like of what she was talking about with the sweater.
Same thing though. Yeah. Sometimes you got to go for it. Like he's trying to say to him, like you got to be this person if you want to succeed. 100%. Like you know what I mean? Like very similar themes.
That's a good.
It's the men's version of this, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. Like and corporate greed, aspect for sure. It's so funny that Julie said this. I'm so happy. I feel validated by this that she said about the Cruella thing, because I wrote down 101 Dalmatians, the Glenn Close version.
Yes, Glenn Close. Yeah,
she is so good. She's like the same type of character. Like she's very Cruella DeVille. And
they actually were going to cast Glenn Close in this.
It makes sense.
Yeah, but she was like, I'm sick of playing the villain, and they gave it to Meryl Streep.
That character. She basically plays this version of this character in 101 Dalmatians as Cruella DeVille, though, and it's excellent. I like that one a lot from the 90s. That was like before Disney live action. They did one of these live actions of 101 Dalmatians. Excellent. Glenn Close kills that role. I wrote down Intern as well, and I also wrote down House of Gucci, but even though I hate that movie, but I watched it once in theaters. I haven't revisited it, but it was not that
Everyone
great.
says that movie is so bad. I still want to watch it.
Well, listen, it's entertaining to see. Like
Jared
what goes
Leto
on.
is
It's such a bad.
Jared Leto.
He's one of the worst parts about the movie, though. That's the thing. Like, he's terrible.
That,
him and his stupid fake Italian accent that he busts out.
Everyone busts out one, right?
Well, Adam Driver always busts out Italian. I mean, he did back-to-back Ferrari in this. Like it was just
the worst fake Italian accent I've ever heard was Shailene Woodley in Ferrari. Like she was awful in that. Like oh my.
There was a lot of bad Italian accents in that. Yeah.
I didn't mind Adam Driver's though as Ferrari. Like I don't know.
I liked him. I liked Ferrari.
It wasn't that. Yeah, me too.
I liked Ferrari.
It wasn't that offensive to me.
Jay, do you have anything?
I said the intern too. I said maybe the assistant with the girl from Ozark there for just just trying to further yourself up, in any way you can, like being aggressive or whatever, about getting a better position and doing stuff like that in any means possible, sort of vibe, right? But I thought of Cruella DeVille, was just the look on her face. This one here.
I'm gonna add another one.
So what's that?
Miss Congeniality.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Well, I want. Go ahead. So we're gonna say something more about it. I actually want to add another one too. This is probably my favorite rom-com. Probably How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I
never saw that.
Oh yeah, I think you'd like that one because it's also set in New York and it's got this kind of like happy vibe to it. But also, the main character that Kate Hudson plays is also like an aspiring journalist, but is working at a fashion magazine or whatever. And her name is Andy too in that movie. So I literally thought of that. I was like, oh shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I guess we only have Legacy left, Julie. If you want to talk about any Legacy, I mean, yeah, it's got a big one for sure.
It's sort of hard to make a sweeping declaration like this. I think it's one of my favorite Meryl Streep performances. I don't know that I can solidly say it's her best performance.
Been a lot of good ones.
She's been in so much stuff, but I think it's maybe her most accessible one. Like sort of this is
Kramer versus Kramer. Apparently she's really good.
That's a good movie with Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, that's
the movie just kind of casts a really wide net. Like I think it's accessible for a wide range of audience. That it's probably one of her most beloved characters, I would say.
You know what's another good Meryl Streep movie? This is kind of a silly one, but it's funny. It's Complicated. Have you seen that one with her and Alec Baldwin?
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah,
that's a good one too. I have a soft spot for that movie.
No, I think you're right, Julie. I think like this is definitely, if anybody said, "Hey, what's your top 3 like Meryl characters?" This is gonna be.
This is like
this is iconic.
Yeah, I think I honestly like. I just wrote down the legacy of this film is clearly the fans of this movie. Like, honestly, like it's just like it's. I mean, it's. Yeah, it's very it's very revered. This film, like it seems like amongst like its fans.
You
and
know,
it's like I'm actually surprised it took me this long to check it out, just because like there's so many people. Again, like it's at the point where I'll never get the love for this film because I watched it 20 years after its release. But I get.
Did it exceed your expectations?
No.
Okay.
Because I liked it, but they were so high because of how much people praised this film that I would say that it's like baseline for me, my expectation. Like it's like in the middle of like where my expectations were. I liked it, but it wouldn't meet my expectations because I just thought this was going to be
overhyped.
Yeah, where has this been all my life? No, I didn't have that feeling. There's some movies I watch where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it's taken me 20 years to watch this. I watched and I'm like, yeah, this is solid. I get why people like it. I get why you guys liked it. I thought I liked it. I don't know if I'll be like running to watch it again anytime soon.
No, I'm not saying like, was it a movie that
well, I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like is this like an endlessly rewatchable movie for you? Was this like
But I get why people love it. I do get why people love it though. I get it.
Like do you think how do I say this? Did it read well? Was it I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Like did you enjoy it more than you expected to based on like how it appears, like how it's advertised, I guess.
Jay did.
Well, the only reason why is because I got it.
Was it better than you were led to believe? I guess that's what I'm thinking, but it's kind of
a lot of points to me across quick and in a short period of time, which was it's not such a bad thing. It was really
like, I guess, like, did the movie have more depth than you were expecting? That's what I want.
It definitely does.
Yeah, but I think that I focused on the wrong things the first time I watched it.
You're still focused on his boy there.
On my boy, Vinny Chase, yeah.
That's okay. Like, I think it was a fair point to make. Like, I learned things talking with you guys about it.
I like I said, the second time I watched it and after I conferred with Christine about it, it was one of those type of things where I wouldn't say I didn't understand the appeal, but I didn't understand the takeaways of what people like about this film. And I think it's because I honestly do think it's because I'm a dude. I was looking at it in a certain way.
That could honestly be it.
I honestly do think it's that. So
this is why this has been an interesting watch for me with you guys, because it's a different perspective than the typical crowd.
It's a different type of movie that we don't talk about.
Yeah,
here.
we usually go for the film bro shit, and this is like a nice change.
No, this is why I like doing this show. I would have never talked about this show, but this movie in this way.
Yeah,
right?
no,
so I think it's good.
I was gonna say, like, Julie, that was a really good pairing, by the way, the Legally Blonde, because I remember one of my neighbors telling me a story about how he had a friend or something who saw that movie, Legally Blonde, and was like inspired to become a lawyer because of that movie. And that actually happened for a lot of women who ended up watching that movie. Like, Legally Blonde just launched like so many law careers or whatever. And I don't
think that this is inspiring anybody to get into the fashion industry.
I think it is, honestly. I think this
probably
did. It would inspire a lot of people to sort of like, pursue a career in fashion or design or something like that. And what's so funny is like, this is like, because it's 3 guys and you, Julie, but like, I'm thinking if this was a movie, if there was like a bunch of women talking about this movie, a question they would definitely ask is, what is the best outfit in the movie? Like, that's not something we kind of like.
Sure.
Well, I said what was the worst outfit.
I know, but what was, but like, I think maybe the outfits are like a huge appeal about like this movie for some, like for maybe women more like into that, right? Like, what is the best? Maybe not everyone, but you know what I mean? Like the general sort of.
I tend not to sort of fit the bill on those kinds of questions, but I do think that like there is one outfit that she has that it has like a little cape to it. I don't remember which scene it's in.
when
I
when
think that's
Stanley
the gala, isn't
when
it?
Stanley
Maybe.
Tucci is pulling clothes off the rack for her, and she pulls out that poncho, and she's like, that poncho, and it's like this orange black kind of thing.
You'll take what I give you.
I'll take what I'm like. That shit looks swaggy as fuck. Like I can imagine, like that's how rappers dress now. They dress all this weird, colorful shit. Like, and you know how like hip like rappers are super like invested in the fashion industry now. Like you can imagine, and like the fact that Kanye like references.
I was literally just gonna say, do you think Kanye will be in the new movie?
You probably watch his fucking movie.
He's
That's
not gonna
why.
be in the new movie. Kanye is like nobody wants to go near
Too
him. Now.
controversial.
Yeah, way too controversial at this point. But like,
Do you think there'll be a character inspired by Kanye?
maybe.
That's true.
Well,
yeah.
you know, there Miranda does name drop Snoop Dogg. Remember?
I know. Yeah. What a baller move to be like, sit my husband somewhere else, bring Snoop Dogg to my table.
Yeah, but you know that is a reference to how like the rappers really like mess with the fashion industry. They're always going to Paris
Pusha T
fashion.
is a big
trendsetters.
All of them,
Yeah.
Pharrell and the Migos, all of them are
Wherever
always
they can invest their money in.
young
and their
thugs
ideas.
stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
I
It
can
is an
imagine
art form.
being a lot of like I can imagine
Travis
this being
Scott.
like the list just goes on. I can imagine like Kanye this being one of his favorite movies or something, or like just people in the fashion
Central C
world and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot
Let's see
of
what Google comes back with. I'm gonna Google what's Kanye's favorite movie and see what happens.
Yeah, Devil Wears
probably.
Prada.
I think I saw a video one time where he said maybe like coming. Oh, it's Akira.
You think so?
Akira, yeah, it's Akira. Yeah, and he said There Will Be Blood was also a favorite, but I think it's Akira because of how much he references it in his music videos and stuff.
I have to type this differently.
But yeah, I mean,
Right.
I
Akira and There Will Be Blood are his two favorite movies of all time.
remember
Jesus
reading that.
fucking Christ.
yeah, that's
great picks.
Yeah.
I hate There Will Be
Well, you
Blood.
remember the Stronger music video? There's all that Akira. It's all Akira, basically.
Julie, we're probably going to be doing There Will Be Blood at some point on this show.
I know, but it's so boring.
Really, the only reason I'm not gonna be the one to pick it. Maybe Nico. The reason why I'm not.
It's very new to me. You know this, right? I
Yeah.
only watched it like a year ago.
It's one of my favorite movies, and I could talk about it for like 3-4 hours, like and just blah, 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 go on about it. But the reason why I'm not gonna pick it, Julie, is out of
I'm
respect.
gonna be sick that day. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna pick it because you said you hate it so much. So I'm like, all right, I'll just leave that alone.
That's
like,
JT's next pick. I don't know if you did.
Probably.
All right,
Well,
so
really.
should we get to it? Is there anything else you guys want to say on this, or
just a rewatchable movie, a pleasant movie. This is just like it's in my introduction to the whole like girl core whatever aesthetic or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Like that I'm actually like a huge fan of now. Like I like that shit. Like I'm not.
what was it, Jay? All I hear is this.
Yeah.
You need to.
Whatever, yo. And then
The best too is when she's like, where she got in shit because she went to her house and she like does one of these, like where she's like get in there, like when she's like Miranda's calling her, and she like does like one of these arm snaps. I can't do it, but it's just funny.
or when she snatches her suitcase out of her hand, she's like, "You don't need this," and she throws it on the floor and stuff.
Don't
Like,
let her see this. Yeah, he tosses it.
Hey Max, why don't you give us the head flip by as you walk away? Hey,
I don't do that.
With
So I'm
Fabio?
not good at
the
that.
hair, yeah, with the hair. With that, you know?
But like I just watched Sex in the City for the first time like last year, and I'm like, this show is brilliant. Like I don't care, bro. I don't care what y'all think about me. That shit rocks.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was,
You like what you like. Who cares?
I like what I like, man.
You're
And I like-
you're bringing up more than we have. I haven't said anything.
I like all the
Defending
stuff
himself
you
to
guys
the
like
internet.
too, you know what I mean?
You like what?
I like all the stuff you guys like too.
Oh, yeah,
so, you
I
know what I mean?
know.
So it's like I like it all.
We
you know?
all literally just sat here and talked about this movie. It's all good.
Straight up.
Everyone enjoyed it.
I cried, so fuck off.
Yeah, JT cried.
You cried at this movie? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's cried at the end.
He's had a rough
I
week,
told
all right, Max? He's had a rough week.
No, but regardless, I
He's
think I
here
would have anyways.
With none of his makeup on.
And the Meryl
I
Streep
automatically
is the vulnerable
connected.
part, right?
No, I didn't even think. I went in here looking at fashion, thinking the Prada and all that crap, and I came out. The first person I gravitated toward was Andy.
Yeah,
that was
she's
it.
the
Her
best.
character in the beginning, before all this other shit came along, and I followed that character progression through the film, and it that's where I got the different aspect of it. This was a great film. I'll be honest with you, and I would rewatch it again.
Yeah,
Even
there
not
you go,
tomorrow.
Jay. We have a convert, Julie.
We're going to the theater. We're going to see number 2.
Hey,
Man,
you know what?
I'm gonna go
I'm
watch
down.
Heat again.
I'm down now. Straight up.
Julie,
I
you know
just
who
got
you're
a
actually
Scotia
reminding
bank
me of
account.
with the glasses? Like
What?
it's like your version of like the Neekster. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, true.
Well, those were Christine's glasses that I was
What a
wearing.
great callback.
Yeah, they look very familiar. They
Jules
almost
there,
look
yeah.
the same, no?
Julester. Bro, the Neekster was the best character ever for the
that was an
on the show.
entourage character.
Yeah.
This is my
A
true
snake
form is as the fun
like
police
Turtle.
when I have these sunglasses on.
This is how she looks like at work.
The Neekster.
Oh my god, I would have loved if just if it just in the middle of this movie, like E and Turtle just came like, yo, Vin, what are you doing? Like, what are y'all, like, what are you?
That would have been cool. That would have been cool. All right, Jay. Hit us
Max,
with your
take
next
your-
pick. JT is
your,
our next pick, everybody. What's our next one?
Let's get it.
It's a, you know what I'm gonna make you guys do? I'm gonna make you guys do something that I don't know. You've been
Yeah,
probably
guess what it is?
you well. I mean, you can probably guess something because it's probably been a long time coming.
There was a hinting of it in the group
Come
chat. so-
on, it's on the list.
No, there wasn't a
all
hint
know what
that wasn't the one whatsoever.
Oh, okay. Was that a red herring? Okay.
Yeah, so
I did that last time.
But yeah, no, it's been a long time coming, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna finally pull it off because I said, what the hell, and I'm done. But yeah, it's Chris Pine in the Star Trek 2000.
Oh, holy shit!
I'm gonna introduce you
Finally
guys.
doing a Star Trek.
I'm
yo.
gonna introduce you guys into a little bit of to the real world.
That's
Oh,
interesting
boy.
that you're picking that one.
I've
wow.
seen those movies. I like them.
Because I didn't want to go all the way far back. I
Yeah.
mean, I could have went
No,
all
I
the way
think that's
back,
the
but-
most accessible one you could have done. Yeah,
and if
because
it's
the other
gonna
ones
relate to
take
anything.
place after the television show. No, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
The first one, right? 2009.
2009, yeah. It's
Yeah,
called-
okay.
2009.
The J.J. Abrams one?
It's,
Yeah,
Chris
J.J.
Abrams,
Wow,
he
good
goes
pick,
by the
bro.
Cumberbatch
Good
or
pick,
whatever.
good pick,
And
Cumberbatch, yeah.
and what's his name that plays Spock? Fuck, I can never remember.
Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stop
Nice.
over there, yeah.
All right.
I said,
All
fuck
right.
it. You know what? I watched it the other day, and yeah, so I was like, you know,
Oh, you rewatched it recently. Okay.
well, it was on TV.
It's
So I
about
was
fucking
busy.
time. I'm surprised you haven't picked the Star Trek.
been a long time
Yeah.
coming,
I'm
for
surprised it
Well,
hasn't.
bro,
picked
and with the whole new, we'll get into that when the Star Trek thing comes out. But this whole new world that's coming out,
Wow, you're about to see Jay nerd out when we talk about this.
Finally.
It's
Wait,
gonna be hilarious.
I cannot wait. This is gonna be fun.
That's great. Good pick.
but I mean, I gotta come prepared. So
So there you go, everybody. 2009, you said? So Star
Oh, no,
Trek
yeah.
2009, the J.J. Abrams one with Chris Pine as Captain Kirk.
The first Chris Pine.
The first of that
J.J.
trilogy,
Abrams, right,
essentially. Yeah. So that'll be
Which
our
I
next
think is
pick.
the only one I've seen.
Oh, I've seen them all.
Of
I own
any
them
Star
all.
Trek movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do not know.
Oh,
anything
I've
about
seen a
Star
bunch of
Trek.
the original, too.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It's gonna be a good convo.
I've never seen any of it.
Yeah,
I think you might like it, Julie,
I never
actually.
watched Devil Wears Prada. You're more realistic, so I think you would like
might
that.
become
as
a
a whole.
Joey
Trekkie next time.
Saldana's in it.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. There's good people in it.
yeah.
What's his name?
Chris
Is
Hemsworth?
Scotty? What's his name? Guy from Shaun of the Dead, Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
He's
Simon
in
Pegg.
it.
And
Good cast.
What's the other dude's name? The doctor.
Oh yes,
No.
the guy who's Judge Dredd. Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah.
A lot of good actors in it.
Yeah.
A lot of good actors. Yeah.
I
that's
never remember their names all the
Carl
time.
Urban?
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in The Boys too? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right. He does all the nerdy shit. There you go, Julie. You got Carl Urban to look forward to. He's in it.
There you go.
Julie's gonna get a note. She's gonna get a note from her. She's gonna get a note from her doctor.
She's doing the Miranda nod. We have to tell them if it's one nod, two nods, or just like
Purse my lips.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That outfit was ridiculous. That's the worst outfit in the movies.
The bow?
big ribbon,
Yeah.
big red. I'm like, this guy's a fashion designer. He's pulling this shit out, like the big ugly red ribbon. Like, what the?
You know what I liked? I liked Stanley Tucci's sweater where it started light and then it got darker as it went.
Okay, I like this ring, this big ass ring that he had. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for the Devil Wears Prada, which was Julie's pick. Great pick, Julie. Good stuff.
Can't wait for the sequel.
And,
That's all.
I guess we'll
That's
be
all.
talking about the sequel when it comes out as well, like briefly on
May
one of these
1st
shows.
can't come fast enough. Man.
And JT, Star Trek 2009 is our next pick by JT. All right, guys, we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and we'll see you next time. Later, everyone.
Peace all.
Welcome to the show, everybody.